It's your under degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, sipping and spilling this tea, sipping and spilling this tea, sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. It's your under degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, sipping and spilling this tea, sipping and spilling this tea, sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea.
What's going on? What's up, Dam? What's up, Damming Gang? Yeah, I ain't been on in a couple of days, and I'm back with an update. You know, we got to talk about Trump going to China. He basically bowed down to China. There's a few things going on with Taiwan. China basically threatened us in regards to Taiwan, and Taiwan believes that we are going to defend them. Okay. They feel like we're going to stand 10 toes down for them. Trump wouldn't basically say. So we're going to get into that. Right now, there's not too many things going on there is a high possibility that it may amp back up. They're trying to rename it to a different operation to restart it. So without further ado, if you're new here, welcome, welcome. Listen, all opinions over here will be respected. You just can't be disrespectful. If you're disrespectful, you will be removed by my mods. You're free to disagree with me. You don't have to believe in nothing that I got going on. And you're free to say it in the chat. However, we do not tolerate disrespect. So I want to say shouts out to my moderators, shouts out to my subscribers. And if you're new here, please, please, please subscribe to the channel. You guys know the rules. I'm off and I'm going to add my to the stage. Now, I hope I don't have too many problems. My internet was tonight. Let me make myself smaller so you guys can see the screen. And we're going to get right into it. And guess what? Y'all know I always take it back a day. We're going to take it back to the basics. Okay, so we're going to be all over the place in this live stream. Okay, all the way up until real time. All right, so let's go. Diamond Gang, hit the like for your girl. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know. We might not be doing anything if my screen don't start. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, let's see. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Has never wanted a nuclear weapon. And we have proved that when we signed the deal in 2015.
So let's go back. He said, we don't want a nuclear weapon. Okay? And we proved that in 2015. Okay? Back in 2015, we talked about this agreement that Obama put through. Okay? The one that Trump tore up and eventually will bring back. But this time around, I guarantee you, Iran will have more benefits. Let's go.
And we have said times and again that we don't want a nuclear weapon, and this is not our policy. We have a peaceful nuclear program, and we have always been ready to make confidence that this program is peaceful and will remain peaceful. On the Strait of Hormuz, this is also our wish that it will be fully reopened. As far as we are concerned,
and right now, no negotiations have taken place. The reason why? Trust is a big issue, okay? We actually bombed them twice in the midst of negotiations. And again, I said this, we went over this time and time again.
The Strait of Hormuz is open, and all vessels can pass except the vessels belong to those countries who are in war with us, who are fighting with us.
Now, let me stop it. Before Trump went to China, several vessels from China passed through the straits without any issues, any problems.
Now, after 40 days of war, when the U.S. became hopeless of achieving any goal in their aggression against Iran, they offered negotiation. We are interested in negotiation, but only if the other side is serious and is in line of real negotiations.
Listen, we have no exit strategy. Trump will be forced to make a move, and it's coming real soon.
We have no trust to Americans. This is a fact, and this is the main obstacle in the way of any diplomatic effort. I think all of you know that we have every reason not to trust Americans, while they have no reason not to trust us.
Iran has been defeated militarily.
So let's get into this. Okay, he keeps saying that, and he's still saying that. Okay, their stockpile has not been depleted, and they have not yet to be defeated. They still have military capabilities. Okay, Iran used this ceasefire, this time during this ceasefire, to rebuild their stockpile. So they're ahead of the game from where we are. All right, let's go.
Have a little epic.
So that's not actually true. Iran remains militarily capable. A U.S. official just confirmed to me earlier.
That part. We underestimated Iran's military and their ability to bounce back. Listen, they were very strategic in their strikes against us. We used a lot of our stockpile in the beginning of this war.
Reporting from the Washington Post and the New York Times. 70% of Iran's missile stockpile survived the U.S. bombing, and 90% of missile sites that Iran built along the Strait of Hormuz survived as well. Those missile sites close to that strategic waterway are vital because Iran can use them to fire on U.S. Navy ships and tankers.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, if it resumes, I guarantee you, they are going to close the Red Sea. I guarantee you. That's going to be their next move.
That are trying to cross the strait. That's the waterway that's been blocked, that's caused energy prices to soar worldwide. It looks like Iran has used a ceasefire to regain access to those sites and make them operational again. The question is, why is the administration touting one of its key goals as a main achievement when in fact that hasn't happened?
The New York Times writes this, quote, "The new intelligence assessment suggests that Mr. Trump and his military advisors overestimated the damage that the U.S. military could inflict on Iranian missile sites and underestimated Iran's resilience and ability to bounce back. If that's the case, can you still be successful, at least on the trajectory that seems to be where we are right now?"
It's going to be very challenging, Chris. One of the things we have to think about is not just overestimating the potential for what we can do against the institutions within Iran, but also what we're using to get that effect.
Please, and thank you. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. It keeps me in the algorithm. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned. Thank you.
The president, I think, and the Department of Defense find themselves in a conundrum right now because they have used so many precision weapons and all of the...
That part, precision weapons. We have depleted a lot of those.
Reporting, if you believe all the reporting from newspapers like the Washington Post and the New York Times, which I do, it seems to indicate that we have used an excessive amount of precision weapons that are not only costly but hard to produce after you use them up. So now the administration administration's kind of on this fault line of, well, do we do more? Do we use more precision weapons?
And here's the thing. If we get into any other conflict, we're going to be in trouble. China gave us a warning. If we stand up militarily for Taiwan, we're going to end up in another conflict with another country.
Weapons to try and persuade even more when it hasn't been effective so far. And what I'd suggest too, having actually gone to combat in the Middle East, Iran has not stayed still. They have hidden the kinds of equipment that we think we have destroyed. The targets we had months ago are likely not the places where some of these weapons caches and equipment is, because Iran has been attacked for the last 2 decades by Israel and more recently by us.
Gang, while I was gone for 2 days, guess what I found out? That Saudi Arabia been hitting them since the beginning, secretly. Let's go.
They have moved things around. They have adapted. That's the kind of things that nations do when they're under attack. So, whereas some of the intelligence analysts at the top are saying, well, we're hitting a lot of targets, we're doing a lot of damage. But when you know what is the possibility of a nation to protect themselves and adapt, the movement of those kind of arms caches and equipment is likely.
We have some news right now. The Trump administration is...
Listen up. So to restart this war and get around the 60-day war power resolution, they are now going to try to change the name. Let's go.
Planning on changing the name of the war in Iran from Operation Epic Fury to Operation Sledgehammer. Why? Because it thinks that by just changing the name and restarting the war in Iran, it can get around the 60-day war powers requirement to notify Congress of the war and get congressional approval for the war. This, according to latest reporting from NBC News. It's almost like the Trump administration realizes that if it continues bombing Iran, which it has, but if it continues to do so in a full-fledged manner that is like the war that was before, then they would have to notify Congress. So what are they going to do? They're thinking about just changing the name and starting a quote-unquote new operation and therefore a new 60-day clock. It's no longer Operation Epic Fury. It'll be Operation Sledgehammer. Now, that's not how the law works.
So get ready, because they're going to try it.
Same war, just repackaged under a different name and different branding. But this is kind of where the mindset is. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. As always, spread the word. And I'll have more updates for you very soon. So follow along, stay updated on all.
Now listen, gang, we getting ready to get into the next clip, right? Get this. Kuwait, a very close ally with Saudi Arabia, captured 4 IRGC naval officers. And there's a reason why I'm telling you guys this. Let's go.
All the news you need to know about.
All right, so yesterday, Kuwait announced that they had captured 4 IRGC naval officers trying to infiltrate Kuwaiti territory.
Come on, gang. We got a lot of information to go through, and I don't want to keep begging for likes. Hit the like for your girl. Please, 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 and thank you. Support the channel with a like. It is free. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned in the chat.
Territory. It's a pretty wild one, right? But Kuwait actually listed the names and ranks of those 4 IRGC naval officers. So I feel pretty confident that they actually have who they say they have. On top of that, they say that one of their security officials was wounded in an exchange of gunfire when they found these guys out. So the Kuwait.
So again, listen to this, because these next 3 clips is going to tie it all in. All right. Kuwait, a very close ally with Saudi Arabia, captured 4 IRGC naval officers. Pay close attention, because this next clip, Netanyahu secretly went and met with Saudi Arabia. And I told it, but he denies it, but he did. Another thing, the UAE has been secretly striking Iran since the beginning of this damn war. They are not innocent as we thought they were. When I kept saying, oh, I feel bad for them, they've been secretly striking them since the start of this war. Hit the damn like, y'all. Please and thank you. Let's go.
The Ministry of the Interior just yesterday published that they had captured 4 of the 6 infiltrators, saying, quote, They confessed to being tasked with infiltrating Bubiyan Island aboard a fishing boat rented specifically to carry out hostile acts against Kuwait. They clashed with Kuwaiti armed forces, resulting in the injury of one of its members and the escape of two of the infiltration elements. Al Jazeera added some reporting here, giving the names and ranks of these four. Seems pretty significant. They say during a confrontation with Kuwaiti forces on the island, gunfire wounded one.
Oh yeah, Mitch, China is real serious. I can't wait to get into this piece of this live stream, China, because majority of this live stream is going to be what happened over there in China. Let's go.
One Kuwaiti service member, the other two members of the group escaped during the clash. The Iranian Foreign Ministry has denied the accusations and demanded the immediate release of the four Iranian nationals. So Iran is saying something happened here. But what they point to is they say these were just Iranian sailors. They were out, doing their normal job. And there was a navigation system error that brought them into Kuwaiti territory. Feel like we're going to hear more about this. If a Kuwaiti service member was wounded in an exchange of gunfire, that doesn't sound like just an average sailor. On top of that, Kuwait again listed out the names and ranks of these IRGC naval officers. That's haven't seen this since the war began.
This is breaking news.
All right, so we're going to get into, like I said, Netanyahu secretly went and met with Saudi Arabia. He's all over this. He's controlling this. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. Drake's new album came out this weekend, and the White House goes and posts the glove just like Drake and says, MAGA. MAGA. They doing clown stuff like this. So guess what? People was doing memes saying Epstein, Israel first with the glove. Let's go. Israel is all over this. They are running the show.
Prime Minister Netanyahu's office just announced that he took a secret trip to the UAE. In the midst of Operation Roaring Lion, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu secretly visited the United Arab Emirates, where he met with the UAE president. This visit has led to a historic breakthrough in relations.
As soon as I heard this, and then I heard that the UAE has been secretly striking Iran since the beginning of this war, that screams Netanyahu. Let's go.
Between Israel and the UAE. But the UAE is now coming out and denying that this ever happened.
So the UAE has been secretly striking Iran and working alongside the U.S. and Israel in their war of aggression against the country, despite all of their posturing that, we're an innocent bystander.
Listen, right? Pakistan have been putting these negotiations together, working overtime. Guys, they are allies with Iran. They are their allies. We got mad and said it was a conflict of interest because Pakistan allowed Iran to store their planes during the war so they won't be damaged. Pakistan is their ally. Y'all knew this before you guys agreed to let Pakistan mediate for the negotiations. So what are we talking about? Like, let's go. I got 221 in the building. 8 likes, please, 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 and thank you. Hit the like. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I suggest you do. I will not be over here in the vertical world too much longer. Number one, there's no money in here, over here. And number two, I want to soon start catering to my audience, those that support me. So this probably, and now that I'm streaming on Rumble, with Rumble, you're automatically monetized. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? So right now I'm on Rumble. So I will soon be over there streaming from that platform as well. But because I want to stream at the same time, I will not be able to go vertical. So I'm getting ready to cut the vertical world off. There's too many drifters, there's too many floaters, and there's not no real core support. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe because this may be my last. Let's go.
We have no idea why Iran would be striking us. Looks like they had a pretty good reason the entire time. And Western media is now giving us headlines like this. Would you have believed a year ago that a Christian, Jewish, and Islamic state would work together on this? Actually, yeah, I could believe that from the UAE. You know, the same country actively funding the genocide in Sudan, the same country that is sending weapons to Israel to be used against Palestinians, the same country that is allowing Israeli surveillance companies to establish.
So again, Kuwait is active. They're a very close ally with Saudi Arabia. Netanyahu secretly went and met with Saudi Arabia. And now the truth is coming out about the UAE secretly striking Iran since the beginning of the war.
Headquarters within its state. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the UAE is complicit in all this. This is, however, the first time a Muslim or Arab country has been complicit in striking another Muslim nation alongside Israel. Not even other Western nations who are allied with Israel or part of NATO agreed to strike Iran. According to a report from Bloomberg, the UAE conducted multiple military operations on Iranian territory, both before and after the ceasefire. So while the US, Israel, and Tehran were all actively negotiating, the UAE was still striking.
Bingo. So they were still striking. To reiterate, Iran, Saudi Arabia have been attacking basically each other for a while. It hasn't ceased. So when that bombing went down over there in the UAE, and I said, that's crazy, they're tired, we went on and on. Not true.
And at least one of these strikes was a joint operation coordinated directly with Israeli forces. UAE military assets were also found to have been involved in strikes against Iran, particularly Iran's refinery on Lavon Island in the Persian Gulf last month. Israel has also been sending weapon systems to the UAE. According to U.S. Ambassador to Israel,
again, Israel has been sending weapons to UAE. Again, Netanyahu met with them. Netanyahu is running the show and has always been running the show.
Mike Huckabee, Israel actually sent Iron Dome anti-missile batteries and personnel to help operate them to the UAE in order to combat Iranian missile strikes. Don't let them fool you. The UAE has been an active combatant in the war against Iran. They have more than earned every strike that they've received.
All right, so we just got reports that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have carried out airstrikes inside of Iran over the course of the last month. They are now active combatants in this conflict, no longer just on the receiving end and trying to shoot down Iranian drones and missiles, but actually taking the fight to Iran. And one of the reports here was a tit-for-tat strike, as in they are responding. They are willing to stand up and defend themselves against the Iranian attacks. Now, the Times of Israel says, quote, Saudi Arabia launched numerous unpublicized strikes on Iran in retaliation for attacks carried out in the kingdom during the war. That's according.
So they've been fighting since the start. This is not nothing new. This has been going on since it started.
To two Western officials and two Iranian officials. They say the Saudi attacks, not previously reported, mark the first time that the kingdom is known to have directly carried out attacks on Iranian soil. They refer to these as tit-for-tat strikes in retaliation for when Saudi Arabia was hit. We also had the Wall Street Journal just saying that the United Arab Emirates has carried out military strikes on Iran, which casts the Gulf monarchy as an active combatant in a war in which it has been Iran's biggest target. They say the strikes, which the UAE has not publicly acknowledged, have included attacks on a refinery on Iran's Lavon Island. They say the attack took place in
Who do y'all think? You got to know if Netanyahu secretly went over there and met with them. He's been meeting with them all along. Okay.
April, around the time President Trump was announcing a ceasefire. They say this was struck in response to a barrage that was launched against the United Arab Emirates. So there's a lot of different directions this could go. But if we're talking about trying to build up a military coalition for, be it Project Freedom or whatever we call the next phase of this, having Gulf partners that are willing to not just stay on the defensive and intercept Iranian drones and missiles, but go on the offensive and show that they're willing to use their military to strike back against Iran and not allow them to continue to carry out strikes throughout the region, could be a step in the right direction and possibly get us closer to opening the Strait of Hormuz.
Hezbollah is using.
Now I'm getting ready to show you guys the type of drones that they're using, okay? That they're basically getting from Russia. Once again, they're getting drones and intelligence. and allegedly, I want to say from China as well. Let's go. These drones is something else. Diamond Gang, please, 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 and thank you. Hit the like, please.
Using weaponized drones, including drones that can evade Israel's electronic defenses. The Lebanese militant group, which is backed by Iran.
It's going to show you guys what type of damage, the damage it could bring.
And designated a terrorist organization by the US, has used drones to carry out deadly strikes on Israeli troops. And some of Hezbollah's propaganda videos appear to show their drones hitting Israeli forces. Hezbollah's launching drones that are attached to miles of fiber optic wire, which is almost invisible and means the drones are immune to electronic jammers. Now, this is the same technology that we've witnessed transform the front line in Ukraine, where drones are estimated to account for around 80% of combat casualties on both sides.
You hear that?
Drones have allowed Ukraine to level the playing field against Russia. Iran has also used drones to deadly effect against the US and its allies. We know from our reporting that the US military is working to adapt quickly to what some say is a revolution in warfare.
That part.
Breaking news. Marco Rubio told us the objective in Iran is now to return to how it was before Trump's.
Yes, he keeps saying that, to return to pre-war state. I guarantee you guys, and I said this the last time I was live, if the straits become open, Trump is going to sell that as a victory. Forget all the other objectives. He's going to sell that as a win. Let's go. He said he could sell us anything.
Start of this war. For real. He said this. I bet if they somehow reopen the Hormuz, they will call this war a win. I just do not understand at all why we are in the Middle East to begin with, let alone starting this war. I really hope when this is over. I
said this when I was live a couple of days ago. Trump said he could sell his party anything. So whatever the outcome may be, he's going to sell it to you guys, not me, because I don't believe nothing he said. He's going to sell it to the people as a victory.
America leaves the Middle East for good. We have no business being there. The crazy part about the Middle East is that Americans here are so ignorant to what's going on over there. They truly believe the Arabs and the Muslims are the violent ones when it is our military stationed over there, droning people daily and killing innocent lives daily. Yet America is the one who is threatened. That is one thing American media did. It convinced the people of this country that the Arabs are violent and we are the peaceful ones. Imagine if Iran made a deal with Mexico and Canada and put bases all along the border to the U.S. and started droning American citizens because they said they are terrorists. Imagine that. Well, that is what's happening over there. Like I always say, turn the tables and see how it feels when it is the other way around. That usually will tell you if it's right or wrong. Also in Iran today, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Well, maybe he's an Israeli senator.
That part. We can get into Lindsey Graham. He is so upset, like I said, calling it a conflict of interest because Pakistan allowed Iran to store planes so they would not get damaged. That's their allies. What was he? Okay, so because they are running these negotiations, don't help your allies. They knew this before they allowed Pakistan to run this negotiations or try to put it together. So I don't get why he's so upset saying it's a conflict of interest when you knew that they were allies. Make it make sense.
He works for Israel more than his home state of South Carolina. He's going crazy because he found out that Pakistan allowed Iran to store airplanes in Pakistan so they do not get damaged from the war. Mind you, Pakistan is mediating between Iran and the USA in negotiations. He is calling this a conflict of interest. And today in a Senate hearing in the U.S. Capitol, he was questioning Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. It is no secret that Iran and Pakistan are allies. They have said so.
Bingo. That's not a secret. So I don't know why the hell he's so mad now. But this is what we do. We get into stuff without strategy. We get into stuff without doing the research, because had Trump researched the last 47 years and researched his opponent and got some type of advice militarily wise, instead of Rubio, instead of Kushner. Yeah, maybe we would be a lot further than what we are.
Million times. What is this guy crying about over here? I know he just wants the war to continue so he can make his boss happy. And I'm referring to Benjamin Netanyahu. He truly is Israel first. This man should be kicked out of office because he works for Israel and Israel only. I wish our elected officials were just as passionate about domestic issues as they are about Israel's issues. Like Donald Trump yesterday, talking to the press, he was asked if financial situation of Americans is more.
Listen, he came back from China and doubled down on that shit. He said they don't care about y'all money and y'all financial problems. That's what he said.
Motivating him to make a deal. And his response was not even a little bit. He only cares about Iran not having a nuclear weapon. Here's what I hear when I hear that. I hear I only care about Israel so Iran cannot have a nuke. Because if Iran does get a nuke, the U.S. is not threatened by it at all. That bomb cannot make it to the U.S. I hear him only protecting Israeli lives over caring about Americans' financial situations. Very sickening.
Israel first. Israel first.
Oh, and by the way, every single intelligence report that was given to Donald Trump from all his agencies had told him that Iran is not trying to get a nuclear weapon. But his boss, Netanyahu, told him otherwise.
That part, intelligence, we went over this 1,000 times, and Kushner and their investments, his son-in-law, been around these Middle East people since he was a kid. Since he was a kid.
This is why we are in this position we are in now. Bottom line, Trump cares more for Israel than Americans. We really need to purge Israel out of American politics. We need to be America only.
It is now day 7.
And you guys seen when he was on 60 Minutes, Netanyahu's running the show.
76 of the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. Here's a roundup of what happened in the past 24 hours. U.S. President Donald Trump said before his departure to Beijing yesterday for a state visit that he does not.
If you're just now coming in here, Diamond Gang, this is how we do it. We take it back a day or two, and then we work our way up to the present time. So,
not believe China's assistance will be necessary to bring an end to the war on Iran. During his diplomatic visit to Beijing, 6 China-linked tankers successfully passed through the
bingo. I just told y'all in the beginning of this live stream, before he got on that plane to go to China, 6 vessels from China got through with no problems. But I told you guys this weeks ago. China made a phone call to Trump and said, we've been doing business with them, and we're going to continue to do business with them.
Strait of Hormuz via Iranian designated routes, bypassing the U.S. blockade while transiting near U.S. naval ships. A recent security assessment by the Center for Strategic and International Studies reveals that the Iran war has dangerously exhausted U.S. military hardware stockpiles. The report explicitly warned that the current more than 50% depletion of America's pre-war air defense assets severely compromises its military's readiness in the
that part, because we wanted to show off and bomb them and decimate. Look where our stockpile is. And now we got that threat that if we even think about defending Taiwan, that it's going to be another conflict with China. It's going to be a conflict with China. Guess what? Our stockpile, we're in trouble.
Indo-Pacific. At the same time, the New York Times published a comprehensive investigative report yesterday that classified U.S. intelligence shows Iran still retains around 70% of its pre-war missile stockpiles and mobile launchers, and has regained.
So we're under 50% and they're up at 70. Thank you for those that hit the like. I appreciate you guys that help keep me in the algorithm. They are free. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned as well. Thank you.
Operational access to 30 of its 33 missile sites along the Strait of Hormuz. Additionally, nearly 90% of its underground missile storage and launch facilities nationwide are now partially or fully operational. Meanwhile, global energy markets face.
So what they did was they have taken this time as far as the ceasefire to get their stockpile together.
Extreme volatility and domestic inflation remains tied to the escalating war.
Okay.
But as
let me answer this. Peter Johnson said, do you support this war? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And there's a lot of reasons why. I've been saying it since day one. Those war objectives were unreachable for a 4 to 6 week excursion. That right there was a mess. Number 2, we had no proof of no imminent threat. Number 3, had he not tore up the deal that Obama put in place, we had oversight on what they were doing. So, yeah, this was an unnecessary war.
Americans struggle with higher food and gas prices, Trump dismissed concerns regarding the economic impact of the war, stating yesterday that the financial situation of U.S. citizens does not factor into his decision-making.
Brian said, all for the awesome prize of skyrocketing gas prices. Brian, I agree. What's up, Jupiter? I agree. Let's go.
Renewed Israeli airstrikes on vehicles in southern Lebanon killed.
Yellow Summer said, no, she does not agree with this war.
At least 12 people today, including a mother and 2 children. Hezbollah has launched 8 operations today in response to Israel's ceasefire violations, directly hitting Israeli military.
Diamond Gang, we got a long way to go. I need y'all to hit the like for me. I do not want to keep stopping begging for likes. I got a lot of information.
Positions and IDF troop concentrations. A Washington Post report revealed that Hezbollah has begun countering advanced Israeli signal jamming by utilizing specialized fiber optic tethered drones. This comes as Israeli Walla News reported today that former Israeli security chief Major General Giora Eiland said Israel's position in Lebanon has worsened greatly, adding that Hezbollah now feels encouraged by the effectiveness of its explosive drones, which he described as a tactical weapon.
And I showed y'all a little while ago what those drones look like and the damage that they do.
That the IDF has no answer to.
China, they are not our friend, believe me.
Bingo. Now we can get into China, and I couldn't wait to get into this. I want y'all to hear President Trump over the years, okay? I don't know where this respect for China came from, but let's go, Diamond Gang.
Tactical weapon that the IDF has no answer to.
China, they are not our friend, believe me.
My relationship with President Xi is a fantastic one. We've always gotten along. He's a wonderful
2015, Trump said China was not our friend. Let's go.
guy. He's a friend of mine.
We have a friendship, really, and we just have a good relationship.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country. And
this is 2016. Did y'all hear y'all boy? Trumpers out there. Did y'all hear that? 2016. He said we cannot allow China to grape our country. Let's go.
That's what they're doing.
We're doing very well with China, and working with China has been very good.
China ransacked our company, stole our...
Boom. 2016. China ransacked our companies. Yeah, let's go. Stole from us and everything. Let's go.
Intellectual property.
The United States will no longer turn a blind eye to unfair economic practices, including massive intellectual property theft.
It's the greatest theft in the history of the world.
Intellectual property theft. Any progress you can report?
Yeah, I mean, it is progress, but I also tell people, yeah, we do it to them too.
So now he's saying, yep, we do it to them too. So now it's not a damn problem. Come on, man. Stop that.
We've been doing that for 50 years. We will go right after China. We will not rely on them one bit. We're taking our business out of China.
This is 2020. This is Trump saying this from 2015 all the way up until current time. Let's listen to him.
We have about 30 of the biggest business leaders in the world because they do business in China. Most of them do business here, but probably like to do more. And I'd like to see them do more. China's going to invest hundreds of billions of dollars with those people that were in that room today.
No administration has been tougher on China than this administration.
I hear this.
There's nobody.
And not to even mention, he took his whole entire family to go do deals. The Trump family is making millions, possibly billions off of this damn war while we struggling and suffering.
Ever been tougher on China than me. There's been nobody tougher than me on China. China's beautiful.
Nobody's been tougher. Then he goes to say China's beautiful. He full of shit.
To be your friend, and the relationship between China and the USA is going to be better than ever before. I'd now like to raise a glass and propose a toast to the rich and enduring ties between the American and Chinese people. It's a very special relationship. We both look forward to the meeting. It's going to be great.
When two of the most
We're
powerful
going to get into China from the time that he left until the time that he came back.
people on the planet meet, the world will be watching. It's a very important visit, this woman told me, but some people we met on the streets of Beijing hadn't even heard the American president is coming. The U.S. is in the mud of the Iran war, this woman told me. Perhaps China will make some mediation efforts. As he left Washington, President Trump insisted he doesn't need China's help with the war.
Y'all know he came back and tried to basically discuss what they talked about. And again, it was denied, and there's no proof that these things were said, but let's go.
And dismissed concerns about its economic impact as U.S. inflation hits its highest level in 3 years, jumping 3.8% annually.
I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about it.
There you go. He don't care about the financials. He just don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. He don't care if you hungry, can't feed your kids. He don't give a damn. That's what he said. I didn't say it. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. And he doubled down on it when he came back from China. I'm just saying.
But I think about one thing. He could not let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
But China is the biggest buyer of Iran's oil, and now boatloads are trapped behind the U.S. blockade. So on the table today, everything from Iran and Taiwan to tariffs and trade. Trump is bringing top CEOs like Elon Musk and Apple's Tim Cook.
They making deals. They making money. Everybody that went over there with him is investing in something with China, including his own goddamn family. They're making millions. Let's go.
And plans to push President Xi to buy more American beef, soybeans, and even Boeing airplanes.
There is a closer personal relationship between these two men that may not align completely with the interests of the two countries, but could lead to a deal.
Global risk analyst Ian Bremmer says that while Trump has lavished praise on Xi,
Look, I have a great relationship with President Xi.
It's not clear what he will.
So I'm going to say the last thing he said negative about Xi was back in 2020. So I guess he mended their relationship. Let's go.
Get in return.
The Chinese feel very confident, and that may well be a mistake in how the meeting goes, but it's a danger for Trump.
We know that one of Trump's first requests will be for China to, quote, open up business to the U.S.
And listen, gang, I'm so happy that I start from days before and work my way up to real time, just so y'all could see what was expected, what he said, and then what truly happened. Yeah, let's go.
And despite all the pomp and circumstance we expect to see, we do not expect significant movement when it comes to Iran or Taiwan. Trump has already said Xi will be visiting him in U.S. later this year, although he...
Listen, Trump said, I'm not going to say whether we would defend Taiwan militarily. Guess what? They spoke, and they feel like we're going to stand 10 toes down for them. This is going to be something else. Let's go.
He has lamented that his ballroom would not be ready in time.
We have some big news right now. The key Trump-China talks, well, expectations are being lowered fast because Trump doesn't have the cards. China is offering no concessions or no expectations according to New York Times reporting. And initially, everyone expected a large breakthrough, major deals, all yada, yada, yada. Well, now the expectations are being lowered quickly. Instead of some great...
So before he even got over there, the expectations lowered. Before he even got over there. So when I heard this, man, I knew it wasn't going to be about, it was going to be a bust.
Grand bargain between the United States and China that Trump brokered, the expectations for the summit is now much lower. It's going to be a more limited summit, according to the New York Times. And it comes at a time where China really is being viewed on the world stage as a larger powerhouse than to the United States, who is stuck again in a Middle East war that seems to be going on indefinitely.
I believe China will be. They're going to get ahead of us. Let's go.
Definitely. And a president who has approval ratings that are the lowest among any president in recent modern day American history. We'll see what happens next. I'll be covering the summit live once it begins tonight. So spread the word and follow along for all the news you need.
Thank you, Jose. Please become a member because I can't stay over here in the vertical world. Okay, please, 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 and thank you.
Need to know about more updates coming soon.
I'm going to put the CEOs aside for a second, and I'm just going to ask.
Now we're going to get into Trump's family, okay? Joining the trip to China and what they're doing. Gang, y'all ain't going to like this. Let's go. That part, it ain't a ballroom, it's a bunker. Absolutely. Let's go, y'all.
Eric Trump landing in Beijing with Donald Trump. The Hunter Biden thing looks like such a mirage, such a, how would you describe it? What is happening?
Yeah, please, 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 and thank you. Get those likes up for your girl. It helps keep me in the algorithm. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned. Thank you. Let's go.
I would use the words like hypocritical and shamelessness. Pure shamelessness.
Thank you.
And I think that it is, look, there are allegations against Hunter Biden. Even if they were true, they were a pittance compared to the amount of money that the president, his family, their associates have made so far in the first year and a half, not even quite year and a half that he's been back in office. Donald Trump Jr. Has been quoted in media reports saying that his goal is for the Trump family to be the richest on the planet.
Y'all hear this? By any means necessary, they want to be the richest on the planet. He brought his family over there. Let's go.
By the time the president's term is over. It is telling that Eric Trump and his wife, Laura Trump, were among the first off the plane there. And I was...
Y'all see him getting off the plane?
At least in those initial wave of officials who came down the front set of steps on Air Force One, I didn't see the Secretary of State. I didn't see the Secretary of Defense. I did see a couple CEOs, and I certainly saw the Trump family, which I think is a fitting symbol of a family that in the first term did put up a few minor barriers, did try to have a few restrictions in how they did business, particularly business overseas. That is all gone. There's not even a pretense of that now. They are pursuing deals all over the globe, and that includes in China. There have been repeated conflicts of interest reported on everything from business, from the real estate deals to...
And we're going to get into that later on. A little more specifics on these deals that they're doing.
Crypto to drone companies. The Trump family is profiting nearly every day after the father's time in office.
We've made the argument to the Chinese, and I hope it's compelling, and they'll have a chance to do something about it at the United Nations later this week.
So we're going to listen to Rubio a little bit and listen to what he had to say. This is the guy that says that he wants it to go, the straits to go back to what it was pre-war. And like I said, if they get the straits open, we're going to take that as a victory and run.
There's a resolution just condemning Iran on what they're doing with the straits. Look, there's three things. The Chinese have ships stuck in the Persian Gulf because setting up a system that said...
They do, but they're the only ones. We just looked. And right before he got on the plane, there were 6 Chinese vessels that got through the straits with no problem. None. They ignored the U.S. blockade and went through.
We're going to let certain ships through, but others not. It's easier said than done. And you saw a Chinese, not Chinese flag vessel, but it was a Chinese cargo, got hit over the weekend. I'm sure Iran didn't do it deliberately, but they did it. It happened. And so that's why these Chinese ships are stuck in there. The second is, I don't think that China, it's a huge source of instability. It threatens to destabilize Asia more than any other part of the world because it's heavily reliant on the straits for energy. And the third reason is because China's economy is export driven, meaning their economy is fueled not by what they consume domestically, but by what they make and sell to other countries. Well, if all the countries of the world economies are melting down because of this crisis in the straits, they're going to be buying less Chinese product and the Chinese exports are going to drop.
Do you hear how he's just speaking like the straits, like what we did not cause the problem? Okay, that's how he's speaking.
Drop precipitously. So it's in their interest to resolve this. We hope to convince them to play a more active role in getting Iran to walk away from what they're doing now and trying to do now in the Persian Gulf.
They want everybody to play a more active role. However, they didn't have these toxic conversations prior to joining Israel in this fight. They had no conversations.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump's China visit is being
Not only that, the other day I showed you
overshadowed because
Iran is meeting with multiple countries making deals. Okay? Making deals.
of his remarks saying that he does not think about Americans' financial situation, so much so that Republicans right now in the United States of America are literally extremely concerned that that statement will be on campaign ads across the country heading into.
Oh, no doubt about it. And guess what? He came right off that plane from China and doubled down on it.
November. Some Republicans on Capitol Hill, like Cynthia Loomis, say he didn't actually mean it. Other Republicans on Capitol Hill, like Susan Collins and others, are saying, I didn't even see it. And they're essentially trying to get away from his remarks. Remember, yesterday Trump said in response to, well, sir, do you care about the American financial situation right now when you're looking at a deal with the
J.D. Vance, he another one. He messed up. He spoke on it.
Iran? He says, I don't think about the American financial situation. I only care that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon. Those remarks have now gone ultra viral to the point where Trump has landed in Beijing. And the only thing Republicans on Capitol Hill are talking about, or rather trying not to talk about, are his remarks about the American financial situation, completely overshadowed. Lots of concern. I'll have more soon. Follow along for all the news you need to know.
President Donald Trump is in China to meet President Xi Jinping. But why is
Now, we're going to get into a couple of different people's opinions on what they feel on why he went, okay?
he here and why now? It all comes down to the 4 T's: Tehran, trade, technology, and Taiwan. This meeting was supposed to happen in late
Because the biggest thing was Taiwan.
March, but was delayed because of the war in Iran. Now, Trump will want to use this opportunity to try to pressure China to bring its friend and ally Tehran towards the negotiating table and end the war. Then there's trade. The US wants China to buy more US products. President Xi is likely to say yes to the likes of soybeans and American.
Trump came home with some seeds for some roses and a threat.
Beef. In return, China will want access to more high-end computer chips. Now, so far, Washington has restricted that access. President Xi will want those bans lifted. And then there's Taiwan. China will want Donald Trump to stop selling arms to the self-governing island Beijing claims as its own. This has been a source of tension between the two sides for many years. It's unlikely to be solved in just these 2 days. However, even this brief encounter may help shape the superpowers' relationship in the years to come.
Every single day that the Strait of Hormuz is closed is perfect marketing for the China.
Now, y'all hear that? So now we're going to look at this aspect. The straits being closed is perfect for China, for marketing. So let's listen to what she got to say.
Chinese, because it just displays American failings. Regional leaders have also said to me that Donald Trump is not desperate for a deal, he could actually escalate this war once again. And that the global economy, for everything that we have said, has not taken the beating that everyone has thought it would. Where do the Chinese fit into all of this? The Chinese buy 80% of Iranian oil exports. They want the Strait of Hormuz to open because it does impact them. But every single day that the Strait of Hormuz is closed is perfect marketing for the Chinese, because it just displays American failings and it markets Chinese development, their technology, their.
What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? Do you guys agree? The Chinese want it open because they are the largest buyers. But listen, with it being closed and everybody blaming us, what this woman is saying is that this is China's chance and opportunity to market and get other things out there for their economy. Let's go.
AI, their clean energy, all of these things that China is trying to build itself as a global superpower that rivals the United States. The Strait of Hormuz remaining closed, as desperate as they are to have it reopened, they're quite enjoying sitting back and watching the Americans get caught up in the mess. Yet again, another American president caught up in the quicksand that is the Middle East. It is great PR for China.
The three big things on the agenda: Taiwan and weapons, AI.
I agree. Yellow Summer, Back Boys Club, Trump got played. He damn sure did. I can't wait to get to him coming home from China. Let's go.
And solving Iran. Doesn't sound like solving Iran is going to happen, especially if you say that Trump is going into these meetings not in the strongest position he's ever been in.
So this isn't good. We're just learning now that the military has produced an in-depth report on China's growing strength over the United States.
Listen, because I'm telling you, China is going to get it. I'm telling you, we're getting ready to be neck and neck with them.
In part because of the Iran war. A confidential U.S. intel analysis details how China is exploiting the war in Iran to maximize its advantage over the United States across military, economic.
Y'all hear this? Pay attention.
Diplomatic and other fields. The report uses what's known as a DIME framework. It stands for diplomatic, informational, military, and economic. Officials talked about the finding, and we've learned that China has sold weapons to Persian Gulf allies of the United States as they struggle to defend their military bases from the war in Iran. Beijing has also assisted countries around.
I said this. I said Russia and China. Who's been here since day one? You guys know I've said this 100 times, that they are being assisted with drones and intelligence from Russia. And I always said potentially China. Let's go.
Around the world struggling to meet their energy needs after the U.S.-Israeli strikes prompted Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz. The war in Iran has also drained the U.S. of massive stocks of munitions that would be critical in a potential standoff against China. And the war has also given.
I just said that. I said if we get into, and I've been saying this, if we get into any other conflict, when the straits was initially closed and we brought that U.S. blockade over there, China called Trump and said, we've been doing business with them and we're going to continue, letting Trump know by all means necessary, we're going to get what we need. Okay? He been threatening us. They've been threatening us.
China the opportunity to observe how the United States fights wars and learn how to plan for its own future operations. The report also notes that China has been using the war to undermine the image of the United States on the world stage as a responsible steward of the rules-based international order, and it views the Iran conflict as emblematic of Washington's cavalier approach to military hostilities. So all this is to say that not only are we spending—
Listen, this war is leaving a bad stain on us. That is going to take a very long time. Other countries, they're not going to respect us. They're going to look at us like we're just a complete total mess. You'll see when this is all said and done.
Billions of dollars on this war and our gas prices have gone up, but also our enemies are using the war to turn our allies against us, strengthening them, weakening us. just a total disaster.
To that end, I want to re-up this cover from The Economist from about a month ago. Xi Jinping peering over Trump's shoulder with the headline, "Never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake." There it is.
Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Never interrupt your enemy while he's making a mistake. I need y'all to hit the like for me. I got 283 in the building. Could I get 50 more likes, please and thank you? If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned. Subscribe. If you're new here, please subscribe. This will be my last vertical. I am now streaming from Rumble. So I'm over there on Rumble now. So I'm going to be working on that. So this is it. I'm going to stream from both on YouTube and Rumble at the same time. However, I cannot do it vertical. I have to go horizontal. So if you're not subscribed and you like the content, please subscribe to the channel.
Is China just going to wait this out?
Quite possibly. I mean, the Iran war really fits into China's long-term view of the U.S. as a power in decline. And just to pick up on what David said, it keeps engaging in these wars that have not gone well. Afghanistan, Iraq, now Iran. And that China is on the long-term rise, and the West and the U.S. in particular are in decline. So it fits with their worldview. But that said, China does need oil, and China does need to sell its stuff to the world, so it can't
Remember, almost a month ago, Trump said that Iran only had 3 more days. They had no more storage space for their oil. It was going to be tragic. Everything's going to start blowing up. What did I tell y'all? I said they got way longer than that. I said Trump is hoping that this is happening because he needs an off-ramp. Guess what? This was a month ago. And they still going. They're still going.
Completely ignore what's going on at the moment. But in the bigger picture, I think they're pretty happy to see the U.S. struggle in the Middle East.
We're going to have a fantastic future together. Such respect for China.
Listen how humble he is. Listen how humble he is.
The job you've done. You're a great leader. I say it to everybody. You're a great leader. Sometimes people don't like me saying it, but I say it anyway because it's true. I only say the truth. And I just want to say on behalf of all of the great...
Listen, they said he was shook. He actually left J.D. Vance basically a letter on what to do if such things happen to him. And we're going to go into that too. He was shook. He was scared the entire time he was over there.
Delegation that we have the greatest businessmen, the biggest, and I guess the best in the world. We have amazing people, and they're all with me. Every single one of them. We asked the top 30 in the world. Every single one of them said yes. And I didn't want the second or the third in the company. I wanted only the top. And they're here today to pay respects to you and to China. And they look forward to trade and doing business.
Liberty is really what the people here of Taiwan hope to hold on to. They're worried that China won't allow
this right here. And Taiwan believes that militarily wise, we will stand up for them. Trump again said he will not say on camera what we will do for them.
To do that, and what
we can't afford it. Our stockpile is under 50%. We can't afford it.
they're wondering today is whether the U.S. is going to play a role in all of this. President Trump, as you mentioned, is at that banquet right now with Xi Jinping in Beijing after meeting earlier as well with the president of China. As we've come to understand it, the food is being served over there, but the worst fear of the people of Taiwan is that they're, in fact, on the menu. And here's why. After the communists won China's civil war in 1949, the defeated leader and his followers fled to this island.
We definitely going to get into what this threat means, okay? And we're going to view it from a couple different perspectives.
At 100 miles off the coast of mainland China. And since then, it's become a thriving, self-governing democracy. China, though, wants it back, and it hopes that President Trump will help, or at least...
David said, what a failure. You Americans have to be able to Yellow Summer said, you Americans have to be able to understand you affect the world. Listen, gang, anybody that's over here that's new, all opinions will be respected. You just can't be disrespectful. You're allowed to disagree with me. State your case in the chat. Just you can't be disrespectful. Please misspell curse words. Let's go.
Not defend it if war breaks out. And today, President Xi of China put it bluntly, calling this issue of Taiwan
I got 300 in the building. Please, 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 and thank you. Please hit the like. It helps keep me in the algorithm, and the likes are free. They are free. Let's go.
most important one between his country and ours. And according to Chinese state media, he had a warning for President Trump that, quote, clashes and even conflicts could result if the issue isn't, quote, handled properly.
We have major news right now regarding the Trump-China summit. While Trump came into the summit essentially supporting President Xi, hyping him up, talking about how much he respected him.
Y'all just heard that, hyping him up. Let's go.
President Xi and China have delivered a stark warning to the United States overnight. President Xi of China warned Donald Trump of, quote, clashes or even conflict between the United States and China if the Taiwan issue.
Thank you guys for hitting a like. I appreciate you guys a lot. You just don't know. I get more excited about the likes than anything. Thank you.
Issue is not handled properly, saying, quote, otherwise the two countries will have clashes and even conflicts, putting the entire relationship in great jeopardy. She stressed, according to NBC News, that the Taiwan.
So, bingo, guys, we are not only backed in a corner with this war with Iran. Now we're going to be backed in a corner on whether or not or how we move with Taiwan. Okay, let's go.
Issue that Taiwan is the number one issue between the United States and China. Trump came in, meanwhile, really kind of hyping Xi up. If you watched the videos, it's really kind of a reverse cabinet meeting where Trump was saying how much he respected Xi, how much of a great leader he was, while the Chinese president kind of came out and said, you know what, no, we're just going to issue this stark warning to the United States, make clear where we stand. A pretty stunning development as Donald Trump really seemed outmatched on the world stage overnight. We'll see what day two brings. I'll have more updates for you soon. Spread the word. Follow for more.
China's president said something to Donald Trump yesterday that you may have missed, and it was an extremely aggressive statement about China's view that it is on the rise and America is declining.
Diamond Gang, we got a whole nother dilemma. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Let me explain. Xi Jinping made reference to something called the Thucydides trap. It's an obscure idea from American political science, and it seems like it might be an odd thing to come up between the leaders of two enormous and powerful countries, China and the United States. And the answer is it's Xi's way of expressing his belief that China's rise is inevitable and that the United States needs to accept, essentially, that Chinese power is going to surpass American power. And it's a way of warning that if America doesn't accept this, that war is borderline inevitable. The idea of the Thucydides trap comes from a scholar based in the United States named Graham Allison. And the basic idea, which comes from the Peloponnesian War, fought many thousands of years ago between Athens and Sparta, that whenever a rising power, in the modern context, China, confronts an established power, the United States, war is...
That part, vote, 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 vote.
Almost inevitable. And the reason why the Chinese leadership, and Xi in particular, likes the work of this scholar, Graham Allison, is because Allison argues that essentially the way to avoid the war is for the established power to accommodate the rise of the rising power. Again, in this case, China. Allison also had a piece just before the summit essentially floating the idea that the United States might make concessions in its approach to Taiwan during the course of the summit.
Y'all hear that? Concessions.
So you can see why Graham Allison is popular with Xi Jinping, and you can see why this Chinese leader is summoning the ideas and rhetoric of this American political scientist to make his case to an American president that China is rising, the United States is declining, and if the United States wants to avoid war, we need to...
So China, dude, they believe that eventually they will surpass us. I guarantee you.
Accept those facts. It's a very, very aggressive overture.
President Xi warned President Trump that not only is Taiwan the most important issue between the U.S. and China, but that if it's mishandled, the two nations could collide or even come into conflict. That's how we put it. Now, what, if anything, did President Trump say in response? We don't yet know because, as you mentioned, the official White House summary did not mention Taiwan. Here's what we do know, though. Trump's visit began with...
So now we're going to be put in a position where we can't even help our ally. You understand what I'm saying? We are right now in a position to where we may have to bow down and not be able to help our allies because we're tied up over there with no off-ramp to this war that's going on. Not only that, we don't have it militarily wise to do. We don't.
With a grand welcome in Beijing, a 21-gun salute from Chinese soldiers, and the Chinese military band played the Star-Spangled Banner. The leaders then took part in a closed-door meeting in the Great Hall of the People, and the message afterwards was all about a shared willingness to work together.
It's an honor to be with you. It's an honor to be your friend. And the relationship between China and the USA is going to be better than ever before.
The White House...
This is not one of his little business ventures. This is serious.
Called it a good meeting overall and said the two leaders talked about ways to increase Chinese investment in the U.S. And on that point, the leaders of some of the biggest recognizable companies in America also joined for part of the meeting. Among the leaders, Tim Cook and Elon Musk. Another area of agreement, at least according to the U.S. side, that key oil shipping corridor, the Strait of Hormuz.
Steve said, and they will if we don't get better leadership. We're in trouble.
Needs to be open, and Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. Beyond the substance, Xi took Trump for some sightseeing. The Temple of Heaven in Beijing was on the itinerary. And at a lavish state banquet, President Trump toasted the long relationship between China and the United States. He also...
How long is this relationship? Because I just showed y'all a video back in 2022. He was talking shit on China. So how long was this long relationship? I got 347 in the building. Can I get 30 more likes? Please and thank you. Let's go, Diamond Gang. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. I'm shutting it down. This will be my last vertical.
Invited President Xi to the U.S., to the White House on September 24th, a sign of just how important this relationship is. And when you think about why, population is part of it. 1 out of every 6 people on planet Earth are Chinese. That is a massive market for American companies, and that's why CEOs were on this trip.
The issue, and you've been asked about it.
Wait a minute, we're going to get into what Trump said. Lucas said, you put the taco sign and the clown sign, and you said she is showing the world how a leader should behave. I agree. Somebody said, "Show, why am I in trouble?" I'm not in trouble, baby. But your president is. He in some shit. He in some shit, Shell. Stay a while. I'm not hating on nothing. Hey, don't get mad at me. I'm gonna say this again. Don't shoot the messenger. Now you got one more time, Shell, and you get disrespectful again, you'll be removed. It's just that simple. You're entitled to your opinion, but you won't disrespect me, my moderators, or anybody in this chat. You understand that? All opinions are welcome. You just can't be disrespectful. Now, you got one more time. Bye. Get Shell out of here. You got to go. I'll do it. Bye, baby. Have a good night. All right, let's go, Diamond Gang. I don't tolerate disrespect. I don't. Don't get mad at me. And don't shoot the messenger.
And you've spoken about it, and that is China's support of Iran. How big a discussion was that today?
We discussed it. I mean, when you say support, they're not fighting a war with us or anything.
No.
Yeah, they are behind the scenes, and he knows that. But he still wants to be Putin's friend. Russia and China they've been helping Iran since the start of this shit.
He said he's not going to give military equipment. That's a big statement. He said that today. That's a big statement. He said that strongly. But at the same time, he said, they buy a lot of their oil there, and they'd like to keep doing that. He'd like to see Hormuz Strait opened. I said, well, we didn't stop it. They did it, and then we stopped them. Sort of interesting. He joked. He said, it's sort of if they stopped it, then you stopped them. But they'd like...
You listening to what he's saying and what she said to him? Oh, you stopped them? Like, you ain't stopped nothing. Because again, they get through. There was 6 that got through right before he got on the plane to go to China. So nothing's been interrupted with them. Again, when we put the U.S. blockade up, China made a phone call and told Trump, and said it publicly. We've been doing business with them, and we're going to continue. We don't give a good goddamn about your blockade. Let's go.
To see it opened, but they actually closed it. He didn't like the fact that they're charging tolls. I don't know if they are or not. I don't know who would pay them. I mean, where do they put the money? The country's decimated.
They so decimated that they're at what, 70%, 75%? Fighting power, munitions, stockpile. Yeah, okay. They ain't decimate shit.
So why are we where we are? Did you underestimate the pain tolerance that Iran has?
I didn't.
Bingo. Did you underestimate the pain tolerance that Iran has? Diamond Gang, get me 200 likes, please, please, please. I'm at 75. I need 25 more likes. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned. Let's go, Diamond Gang. See, Shell she didn't got me hyped. I'm a Bernie.
Estimate anything. We hit them unbelievably hard. Look, we left their bridges. We left their electricity capacity. We can knock that all out in 2 days. 2 days, everything.
Okay, go ahead. Knock it out in 2 days. Why not use the rest of the little bit that we have? Okay.
We left Cargill, and other than, I said, hit it except for the valves where the oil comes out. Because when you hit that means you're going to lose a little oil. But one thing is happening, amazingly. Ships are floating up to Texas and Louisiana, and they're going to Alaska, and they're loading up with oil like we've never seen before.
Where's the proof? Where's the receipts? I showed y'all 6 vessels got through from China. I showed y'all that.
Americans want to know when it's over, though, right?
Yeah, look, Vietnam lasted 19 years. Iraq was like 10 years. Korea.
Exactly. So why would you do this? Call it an excursion. Say it's only going to be 4 to 6 weeks when your main objective. Remember, gang, regime change. Remember, they can't have a nuke. They wanted the enriched uranium. And here we are a couple months in, and you still ain't got shit completed. Nothing on that list. And now the straits is closed. And again, I'm going to keep saying this. They get the straits back open. He's going to claim it as a victory and sell it to his people. Because he ain't selling me shit. Because he ain't selling me a goddamn thing. He said he could sell it to the people. And we going to go for it. I ain't going for it. Let's go.
Korea was 7 years. Another one was 14 years. Another one was 12 years. Another one was...
Exactly. So why would you do this and say it was a 4 to 6 week operation? I'm just saying. He said it. I didn't. Again, don't shoot the goddamn messenger. Let's go.
9 years. We're in there for 2.5 months. The other thing they talk about, so we lost tens of thousands of soldiers. And
4 to 6 weeks. Regime change are forever wars. You understand that? They are labeled as forever wars. So why would you say excursion 4 to 6 weeks? Now you saying, oh, we was here 10 years. We was there. Now, you know, Come on, man. Stop it.
Vietnam, we lost tens of thousands of soldiers in practically every war. I've lost, I wish we'd lost none because I know those parents, I spoke to them. We lost 13 soldiers in 2 wars.
This is the man that's telling y'all he don't care if your kids starve. He don't care if you have a job. He don't care if you can't get to work. He don't care if you can't buy gas. And he doubled down on that shit.
We've seen there's basically been a Cold War over Taiwan for decades. What are the chances that this could turn into a hot war, an actual conflict?
Reunification with Taiwan is an essential issue for the Chinese Communist Party. Now, the U.S. intelligence...
I'm praying that it don't. Because we ain't got shit to help them.
Community has assessed that the Chinese government isn't planning an invasion of Taiwan in 2027, but they're setting the conditions for reunification. And they want both actions and change in words from the United States. Action-wise, they want the United States to stop giving arms to Taiwan under statute known as the Taiwan Relations Act of 1979. They certainly want the United States to move military assets out of the region that could be used to defend Taiwan in the case of an invasion. And they want the U.S. to really step back from its unofficial ties with officials in Taiwan. But rhetoric is also really important here.
So bingo, right there. He got to make a choice. And he wouldn't say it out loud. But guess what? Taiwan said, we're going to be there for them. That's what they said. I'll play it.
The U.S. has historically focused on maintaining the status quo, the one China policy. And Xi will continue to press President Trump to signal with his words and not just his actions that the U.S. is open to reunification at some stage.
Now, the comparison's been made by the former deputy.
I like the way you said that, Sam. Break it, try to fix it, and try to take credit for trying. That part right there.
Secretary of State here in the U.S., that this meeting is compared to the 1972 meeting between Mao and Nixon in terms of how much personal authority the
Diamond Gang, please and thank you. I got 318 in the building. Can I please get 12 more likes? Get me to 100 likes, gang. Are you not entertained? You liking the content? I got a 302 in the building. It helps keep me in the algorithm. Please and thank you.
these two men have. What does each person here, President Xi and President Trump, what do they each want out of this?
Well, while President Trump and President Xi have a huge amount of personal authority, I do think we have to note that China in 1972 is very different than China in 2026. The level of interdependence between our countries is exponentially higher than it was when Nixon went to China.
Oh, a lot higher. A lot higher.
At the same time, China's posture towards the United States, its active cyber campaigns against the U.S. government, against private citizens, is totally different than when Nixon went to China. So historically speaking, certainly these two leaders want to see less economic tension, more trade relations, a lifting in export controls, help on foreign policy issues like Iran. President Xi, as we discussed, wants Trump to change posture on Taiwan. But certainly the relationship between these two countries is more complex than ever, where, frankly, we really need experts from the intelligence community and
you hear that? Experts from the intelligence community. Not Kushner, not Witkoff. Not Netanyahu, not them. We need experts.
Experts working with China to advise the president on strategy as well as substance.
We have big news right now. Donald Trump looked visibly rattled, shaken, and uncharacteristically restrained during his summit with President Xi in China after a 2-hour meeting in which Xi issued the stark warning to the United States saying,
He was. He seen the seriousness. He knew that China was not, they're not playing with us. They're not.
that the Taiwan issue must be properly resolved or there could be conflict between the United States and China. Notably, the United States readout of the meeting did not talk about Taiwan, while the Chinese readout focused primarily on Taiwan. After leaving the two
Diamond Gang, do you know how it's going to look visibly to other countries, foe and friends? if we got to back down, it ain't gonna look too good.
2-hour-long conversation with President Xi, Trump refused to respond to reporters' questions about Taiwan.
I told y'all 2 weeks ago, we will be stained as a country and alienated. I guarantee you.
Noting that he looked rattled, shaken, and uncharacteristically restrained. The two leaders then gave toasts during the state banquet afterwards, in which Trump faced even more ridicule on the internet because he brought up Chinese food restaurants in the United States, saying that he claimed that.
Thank you for those that hit the like. I need 7 more likes. Get me to 100 likes. Please, 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 and thank you. If you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned. Thank you. All opinions are respected. And please subscribe to the channel. This will be my last vertical.
Chinese food restaurants outnumber the top 5 U.S. fast food chains. Trump did invite Xi to Washington in September, and Marco Rubio told NBC News that the two parties agreed that the Strait of Hormuz must not be militarized. So that's where we're at right now. I'll have more.
If you are over there on Rumble, I just opened up a platform on Rumble. My next live stream, I will be streaming from Rumble on YouTube. Okay, I got to build up my channel over there. Rumble, you're instantly monetized over there. So I'm in the business to make money. And my channel was recently demonetized for talking about these issues. Okay, so I got to make the money somewhere. So I will be actively streaming from Rumble and YouTube at the same time. Let's go.
Updates for you soon. Follow for more.
While U.S. President Donald Trump was walking a red carpet in Beijing.
Now, this is my girl right here, okay? She breaks it down so smooth. Take a listen.
As part of a much anticipated summit between the U.S. and China, a Chinese supertanker called the Yuanhuahu passed through the Iranian-controlled Larak corridor in the Strait of Hormuz without paying the roughly $2 million toll Iran has been charging ships for.
Bingo. So remember, Trump just said that China don't like that Iran is charging tolls. At this point, listen, they want to get through. They're not being charged because they are good allies. They are helping Iran. So they don't care. They don't.
Passage. A China Costco shipping official told the Wall Street Journal that the company viewed it as a deliberate gesture from Tehran, timed for the U.S.-China summit to send a message. An Iranian state media reported today.
So there were supposedly 6 that passed through. Now, what she is saying is that Iran did this as a gesture, saying, look, don't let Trump fool y'all when he get over there. Don't go for the BS. Don't let him fool you. We got a great relationship. We are allies, and we're going to continue to get you what you need, basically. Okay, I just dummied it down. Let's go.
That an agreement has been reached to allow more Chinese ships to pass. The message from Tehran is that the free movement of China's oil has nothing to do with anything that might be agreed between them and the U.S. It is the language of a strong commercial relationship, and it's a language China understands and listens to. This harmony did not happen by accident. This week, the world is watching the U.S. meeting with China, but Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi was in Beijing last week for his first meetings face-to-face with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi since the.
So listen, the last live stream, I showed you that Srirachi, whatever, however you pronounce his name, was meeting with multiple countries, getting shit together, making deals, making things happen, even with some of our allies. Okay? I'm just saying.
The war began. But the most revealing details are not from what was said in either meeting. They're from the gaps between what was said and what was actually reported. When Wang Yi met Araghchi, China's official statement explicitly called for the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, and China affirmed that again in today's meetings with the U.S. But the Islamic Republic's own statement of the same meeting left that line out entirely. That's not a translation issue. That is Tehran signaling publicly that it intends to hold the strait as leverage, regardless of what Beijing wants. The Islamic Republic of Iran.
Y'all hear that? So They're going to continue to use the straits as leverage. They don't give a good goddamn what nobody got to say or what they think about it. Okay? And what they're doing is letting China know, we got you. Regardless, we got you. Whatever we need to do for you, we got you. Let's go.
Aim to China not to be told what to do, but to secure 3 specific guarantees before making any concessions. 1, continue Chinese oil purchases. 2, diplomatic cover at the UN. And 3, clarity on what she planned to say to Trump about Iran this week. That is the behavior of a government that feels cornered, but not defeated. A lot of these signals might be lost on the U.S. delegation. Trump largely views the U.S.'s competition with China as economic, but China's geopolitical and security power is substantial. When it comes to Iran, it is the Islamic Republic's largest trade partner and top oil buyer. When Beijing made a last-minute push in April urging Tehran to accept the Pakistan-brokered ceasefire, the Islamic Republic of Iran listened. The relationship is solid. But today, even as Trump and Xi sat down together and agreed that the Strait of Hormuz must remain open, new attacks on vessels near Hormuz were being reported. The strait is still effectively closed. The ceasefire is still fragile. The Islamic Republic of Iran is demonstrating that it won't be decided by this summit. China won't force Iran's hand openly either.
Boom. Did you hear that? And Trump came back with hella stories. Oh yeah, he don't want them to have this. And I told them I wanted him to stop doing that. China will not force Iran's hands openly either. That part. That's all I'm saying. Let's go.
That is not how Beijing uses its power. But what we saw today, a tanker waved through without a toll, a public gesture timed to the minute, tells you that Iran and China are much more on the same page than the US and China likely will be at the end of these meetings.
That part. That part. So whatever Trump went on over there saying, I just hope he don't think that it moved them, affected them, none of that. They're standing 10 toes down for Iran. They're standing 10 toes down for them.
We have some news tonight. Apparently, Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, said that the United States was a, quote, declining nation. No one knew about this comment, but Donald Trump took it upon himself to put out a Truth Social post to say that Xi Jinping did say that, but that he was referring to the Biden years, not the Trump years. This is a real Truth Social.
You hear that? You hear that? So they said that we're a failing nation, okay? Which makes them believe that they have power, more power than anything right now, than they ever felt.
Post from Trump. He could have stayed silent and no one would have known Xi Jinping said this comment because it wasn't reported at all. But Trump says, quote, while President Xi was very elegantly referred to the United States as perhaps being a declining nation, he was referring to the tremendous damage we suffered during the 4 years of sleepy Joe Biden and the Biden administration. And on that score, he was 100% correct. He was unsafe.
You hear that? So if he would have just kept his mouth closed instead of crashing out on True Social like he normally does and telling every little detail and everything, this is part of the reasons why
President Xi was not referring to.
This is part of the reasons why we are not in negotiations with Iran right now, because of these type of posts.
The incredible rise of the United States has displayed during the 16 spectacular months of the Trump administration. No one knew Xi said that comment. No one knew in what context Xi said that comment. Trump could have kept his mouth shut, let the comment go, and moved on.
What did I tell y'all the last live stream? He talked too much. He talked too damn much.
But no, he had to put out a Truth Social post, draw attention to it, and blame Joe Biden. Follow for more.
It is now day 77 of the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. Here's a roundup of what happened in the past 24 hours. President Trump told Fox News today that President Xi offered to leverage Beijing's relationship with Tehran to help broker peace and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. According to Iran's first news agency, Iran's IRGC has allowed around 30 ships, which were primarily Chinese-owned, to cross the Strait of Hormuz.
Y'all hear that? So China, they getting their ships through. And they have been since this blockade started. Shh, let's go.
After they complied with Iranian instructions. Tehran says the move follows diplomatic efforts by Beijing and was coordinated within the framework of the two countries' strategic partnership. At a BRICS foreign ministers meeting in New Delhi, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi fiercely denounced the U.S. and Israel for warmongering. Araghchi openly accused the UAE as well of acting as an active participant in military operations against Tehran.
And I told you guys that, I showed you guys that they have been secretly striking since the beginning of this war, the UAE. So I thought, oh, poor them. I was feeling bad for them. And no, they've been active in this from the start. Let's go.
And also condemned Kuwait for detaining 4 Iranian citizens.
Bingo. I told you guys about the 4 that they caught, what that Kuwait caught, the IRGC. They caught 4 of those guys. Sorry.
Near an island used by U.S. forces. Testifying before the Senate Armed Services Committee, U.S. Central Command Commander Admiral Brad Cooper said Iran's military capacity has been dramatically reduced, rejecting claims that Iran still retains roughly 70% of its mobile missile launchers and pre-war
70%, Diamond Gang, and we're under 50%. This is crazy. Let's go.
Stockpile. Cooper's remarks directly contradict classified U.S. intelligence assessments leaked to the New York Times and the Washington Post, as well as satellite and surveillance tracking that shows Iran's capabilities are far from eliminated and are rapidly being replenished. While Cooper insisted CENTCOM has enough munitions necessary for continuing the war, officials noted the Pentagon has been forced to rush bombs and missiles from commands in Asia and Europe to sustain the Middle East campaign. Meanwhile, the Lebanese and Israeli delegations arrived at the U.S. State Department in Washington to participate in yet another round of direct talks, as U.S.-supplied Israeli bombs continue to fall on Lebanese civilians. Hours before the talks began in Washington, Israel launched a wave of airstrikes in southern Lebanon.
Israel, they never stopped. Okay? They had a ceasefire put in place that was supposed to be for 3 weeks, and Netanyahu asked to end it early. So, but they never stopped. They were drawing imaginary lines, striking just because. Let's go.
That killed 12 people, including children and a paramedic. In retaliation, Hezbollah launched an explosive drone strike near the northern Israeli community of Rosh Hanikra, wounding 3 settlers, and 1 is now in critical condition. Analysts note that while Lebanese state leadership wishes to secure a deal to end Israeli destruction on their land, the government lacks the political or military leverage to forcibly disarm Hezbollah, something the resistance group has refused to do and firmly maintains that its military arsenal is non-negotiable.
We did discuss Iran. We feel very similar to Iran. We want that to end. And
all right, Diamond Gang, we're going to get into basically different people's perspectives on how they feel about this meeting.
We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We want the straits open. We're closing it now. I mean, they closed it, then we closed it on top of them. But we want the straits open, and we want them to get it ended because it's a crazy thing. They're a little bit crazy. And it's no good. Can't have it. They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
We have some major news right now.
He's going to stick to that story. Let's go.
Experts are calling the Trump-China summit a failure for the United States president, who has caved seemingly to China on Taiwan in a very key way.
That part. We have to cave. We don't have any room to involve us in anything else. We don't. We have no room for that. How?
One that has alarmed folks in the region. Heading home from China today, Donald Trump said that he has not made a determination on a $14 billion arms package to Taiwan. Despite it being bipartisan, despite everyone having support for it, Trump now hasn't made a determination on it.
What y'all think he going to do? He hasn't made a determination. And at this point, I believe he's in fear. He's in fear. That's right. Never forget 9/11. Let's go.
Days after meeting with Xi. He also confirmed that he spoke to the Chinese president about arms sales to China, which is contradictory to a long-standing 1982 agreement that the United States has. At the same time, Trump was not able to get any assurances from China on pressuring Iran. Trump's big top line from the summit was that because China has a ballroom, the United States should also have a...
And he worried about a damn ballroom. So because China have one, he should have one.
ballroom. But many are now concerned that Taiwan could be essentially up for grabs after China spent 2 days in a way knifing Trump in person and Trump spending 2 days just admiring Xi. Spread the word, follow for more.
So Donald Trump got back from China today, and there's a lot of concern among experts and people in the United States that he completely caved to China. He gave into...
Y'all hear that? Did you hear that? Let's go.
All of their demands and folded during this meeting, which is being labeled as a failure. To start, it seems like Donald Trump gave in to one of their biggest demands, and that's Taiwan. He was asked why he hasn't approved a big weapons package for Taiwan.
You see that? So he has that on hold. What y'all think? That weapons package. Do you think he's going to eventually approve it or not? If you think that Trump is going to approve it, put a 1 in the chat. If you think he's going to go ahead and stand down and taco out when it comes to Taiwan, put a 2 in the chat. I don't think he's going to do it. You said neither of you have a clue, but then again, you voted for Biden and Kamala. Trey, who you speaking with? Who are you talking to? Hold on. Someone in the chat? Yeah, EJ, please be respectful, because if you're not, we'll have to remove you. What's up, Archangel? You said 2. You think he's going to taco? Me too. I don't think he's going to be there for Taiwan. We can't afford it. We can't. Hold on. Did you remove Trey Cole? Because I'm looking for him. All right, let's go. Hey, Meek, what's up? Yeah, give them one chance. The second chance, they out of here. Get them out of here. Don't come in here with that disrespectful. I allow you guys to say what the hell y'all want to say. Don't be disrespectful. It's just that simple. Okay, let's go. I think he's going to cave too. I'm happy to see you, Archangel. Taco out for sure. All right, let's go.
One, he said, well, we're going to see what happens, which means he's not going to do it. He was later asked on Air Force One if he would defend Taiwan if it came to it. And he said, I don't want to say that, which also is probably a no. Trump is...
Mitch, you still in here? Say something if you still in here. You and Archangel, boy, I could depend on y'all. That's what I'm telling you guys. I'm going to start catering to my core audience. Let's go.
Has also been going around saying that China changed its position on Iran for him and because of this meeting, except there is no evidence of that. Trump couldn't name a single way in which Mr. Xi had agreed to change the situation on the ground, and China's foreign ministry did not indicate it would put more pressure on Iran.
Matthew said he's smarter than that. He better not give up. 2. Okay. All right. So it's more 2s than anything. All right, let's go.
Another thing Trump seemingly backed down on is the issue of Chinese nationals buying up U.S. farmland, including near U.S. military installations. At a rally in Pennsylvania in September of 2024, Trump said, we're going to protect it by saying you can't come. They can't buy this land. But on this trip, Trump told Xi they can come. He said, it's not that I love it. You want to see farm prices drop? You want to see farmers lose a lot of money? Just take that out of the market. So Trump is basically saying, actually, they can buy all this land. No trade.
Dang, Trump. This was a wasted trip. This was a wasted trip.
Deal, no major concessions from China. It seems like Trump just gave in to everything they want and more.
Donald Trump and Xi Jinping might have looked like friends, but behind the Chinese president's words was a pointed message and a veiled threat. That might sound bland and inoffensive, but what Xi means is that America is declining and China is rising. That That's the change he's talking about. And the first time he used that phrase in public was in Moscow in 2023 when he met his friend Vladimir.
You see that? So he cool with Putin. Real cool with Putin. This is insane. Y'all can't tell me they ain't giving them missiles and drones and intelligence. Not missiles, but drones and intelligence. This is crazy, man. And Trump was acting like he was a daggone fan. He was fanning out. He fans out about Putin and Xi. Let's get it. Oh my goodness.
Putin, которая не было в течение 100 лет. Там, где мест лига экспериментов.
For Xi to have repeated this message, which effectively means I'm rising and you're falling, directly to the President of the United States, was a sign of confidence, even arrogance.
My thing is, you run and you call reporters stupid and women bees. And remember, guys, last week I showed y'all he called a black woman a bitch. You could do all of this, and then you go over there and you... let's go.
And Xi went further by using the word accelerating. What he meant was that under your leadership, Donald Trump, America's decline is speeding up, and so is China's rise. And then...
That was an insult. I'm surprised he didn't go crazy on Truth Social. He humbled himself. He humbled himself.
Came the coded threat.
中美两国能不能跨越所谓的修昔底德陷阱?
That phrase, Thucydides' trap, was invented by a Harvard historian, Graham Allison, to describe how established hegemons have often gone to war against rising powers, just as the Greek historian Thucydides described how Athens and Sparta waged the Peloponnesian Wars of the 5th century BC. What Xi meant was, the way to escape that trap is don't resist China's rise. If you oppose China...
Don't resist China's rise. This is crazy. They can already be a powerhouse. It is what it is. I mean, they are, but, you know.
You risk conflict. To avoid this, you must accept the changes unseen in a century. So Xi was effectively telling Trump, live with China's rise and America's decline. That was his stark message for the established superpower.
So live with China's rise and America's decline. This is scary. This is scary.
She was sending a message, and the message...
That part, Mitch, you said he wants to be like Putin so bad, so bad. Eric said, Trump, we got, okay, we got Eric, he support Trump. Now, you see how Eric came in here and said Trump and put his flags up? You could do that. You're allowed to do that. He was not disrespectful. Let's go.
You know, is we still want to bring Taiwan under our control. And the American position remains as it has always been, which is one of strategic ambiguity. It's not clear whether the U.S. would come to the aid militarily of Taiwan if it's attacked. She would like the U.S., which provides...
I don't think that we're going to come to Taiwan's aid. This makes me sad. Let's go.
I think 98% of Taiwan's arms to stop selling arms to Taiwan or to reduce its arms sales. I don't think the U.S. will agree to that at all. So I think leaving things where they are is probably the best place one can actually leave them. I mean, we see China practicing. It's building up a navy. It has practiced putting a ship cordon all around Taiwan. It's building islands out to create airports and ports. It's building a navy that would be designed to push back the American Navy if push came to shove. But at the moment, I think...
we've been on top so long and number one for so long. This is like, this to even think or fathom something like this even happening is insane to me.
China isn't ready to do that. And I think, frankly, the American Navy isn't ready for it either. So it's better to leave things just where they are.
Now we discussed
You said no flags, Meek? Let's see. I gotta go with my mods. But he could rep for Trump. Let's go.
sales now, what's his request? You could discuss the Taiwan.
Now listen, this is Trump saying what they talked about. Let's listen.
The whole thing with the arms sales was in great detail, actually, and I'll be making decisions. But you know, I think the last thing we need right now is a war that's 9,500 miles away. I think that's the last thing we need. We're doing very.
You hear that? He said the last thing we need is a war 9,500 miles away. What that sound like to y'all? Like, this is the part where I kind of feel bad for him. I do.
Well, would the U.S. defend Taiwan if it came to it? I don't want to say. I'm not going to say that.
Bingo, y'all heard him. They asked him, would we defend Taiwan? He said, I don't want to say. I'm not going to say that. I don't know, gang. We just got to hold tight and I hope it don't happen. Because I feel like, we're just being backed into a corner everywhere.
There's only one person that knows that. You know who it is? Me. I'm the only person. That question was asked to me today by President Xi. I said, I don't talk about that. He asked you today. He asked you if you would send troops. He asked me if I defend them. I said, I don't talk about that.
President Trump was just asked about China's efforts to spy on the United States. Here's what he said.
The question was asked to me, what about the fact that China's spying in the United States? I said, well, it's one of those things because we spy like hell on them too.
You hear that? Remember, I told you guys that. Now this, I got Trump's back on this one. They literally tried to say that this man was looking and trying to sneak and see things that it was his stuff. It was his speech. Let's go. I had to bring this. Y'all see that?
Now a toast by President Xi.
It says, caught on camera, Trump quick peek moment during China banquet goes viral. It was his own stuff. It was his own notes. Bingo, there you go. He get ready to reach to go look at it.
This video of President Trump has gone viral, with some social media users convinced he was trying to sneak a look inside Chinese President Xi Jinping's notebook after he got up. Now, this clip has got millions of views online, but if you look closely, you might spot this. That appears to be the presidential seal, which...
Lynn, you said not interested in Trump. I'm not either, but let's go. Mitch said taco.
Suggests Trump wasn't peeking at Xi's personal notes at all. He was likely looking at his own speech binder or a translated version of his remarks. Moments later, Trump can be seen walking up to the podium holding what appears to be the same notebook, which he then opens to read from during his speech.
Well, thank you very much. This is a...
President Xi Jinping has said that reunification of the motherland is, quote, unstoppable. What is...
Let's listen, because Taiwan believes that we're going to defend them. Let's get it.
The feeling here in Taiwan?
No, we will not take his word lightly, I think.
So they said they're not taking his word lightly at all. But listen.
That we have to build all our defense strategy upon their ultimate goal. And how to keep the status quo is our main goal. So the status quo is dynamic, but basically that is Taiwan as a democracy.
So there it go. Taiwan said they're going to stay a democracy and we're going to help. He's going to say it. Pay attention.
And our people can decide our own affairs. I think that is our goal, and our goal is to survive.
Are you concerned that President Trump could do some sort of deal with President Xi in getting a grand bargain for the United States that would compromise Taiwan?
I don't think so. I think that the U.S. Security commitment to Taiwan remains to be very strong and solid.
According to new reports, Israel is expecting the war.
Y'all hear that? Very strong and solid. Let me take it back. He said, I don't know. I'm hoping. Let's go back. I got to play it one more time, y'all. One more time. Let's get it. Listen.
Status quo is our main goal. So the status quo is dynamic, but basically that is Taiwan as a democracy, and our people can decide our own affairs. I think that is our goal, and our goal is to survive.
Are you concerned that President Trump could do some sort of deal with President Xi in getting a grand bargain for the United States that would compromise?
Mitch, that was his. I don't like Trump, but I'll take up for him for that one. That was his notes. But listen, he said that we're going to stand 10 toes down for them. Listen, y'all.
Taiwan.
I don't think so. I think that the U.S. Security commitment to Taiwan remains to be very strong and solid.
According to new reports, Israel is expecting the war.
So y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. Taiwan thinks that we're going to stand 10 toes down if China decides to take action. Let's go. Now we're going to bounce to the war real quick, and then we're going to get into a couple of nuances. Let's go.
War with Iran to resume as soon as Donald Trump gets back from China, which will be later today. Israel is planning on raising its military readiness to the maximum level. The U.S. told Israel directly a few hours ago that Trump may soon order strikes inside of Iran, with Israel already bracing for a response. Additionally, a source close to Iran's parliament speaker assesses that if Trump fails to get China to pressure Iran over its nuclear program, which is highly unlikely, the U.S. will immediately move to execute a massive aerial operation, striking 25% of the remaining targets in Iran. The source also said Iran would respond by activating its missile system, which is at 90% operational capacity, to strike U.S. and Israeli bases, as well as Gulf power stations.
We don't have that many more. Remember, gang, they hit 16 U.S. bases, and I showed you guys that. So let's go. But I believe, too, now that he's back, and that was a quick distraction, the war will resume. And I do believe that it will have to escalate to come to an end. But let's go.
Trump seemed to back up this claim as well, saying today, we sort of finished militarily pretty much, probably 75%. We didn't finish every one of the things. We'll go back and finish them off. And by the way, more than that, Iran's foreign minister also reiterated that Iran cannot trust the Americans, so a deal is highly unlikely.
We have made a fortune with their oil. And so they've made more money in the last 8 months than they've made in the last 10 years. And we're really, participating in the profit.
Venezuela, but obviously Iran is
it's a different kind of a thing. Yeah. But we're doing
a very different kind of a thing. Like I've been saying, he thought that he was going to be able to go in, take over, and do whatever like he did Venezuela. He did not know that. And I say this again, you should have did your homework, and you should have came up with a better strategic plan to listen to Witkoff, Kushner, and Netanyahu and not get advice from intelligence was just idiotic. Okay? And I said it.
Probably almost as well as, I don't know how you can do better. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. It's all destroyed. Their Air Force is destroyed.
But yet they're talking a big game. They're talking a big game. Iran's foreign minister said the Strait is open to commercial shipping only if they cooperate with the Iranians.
They're not talking a big game. You know who's talking a big game? The fake news media. If you read the New York Times, you would think that we're losing militarily. Think of it.
Y'all hear this? This is what I'm saying. This is denial. This is denial. This is lack of briefing. This is just ignorance.
They have 159 ships. Every one is now on the bottom of the sea. Every one of them is gone. They had mine droppers. They call them mine droppers. Nice thing. Who has 22 mine droppers? The mine droppers are all gone. Now they have what they call fast boats. You know what they are? Runabouts, like you'd buy for your fantastic son if you wanted to buy him a nice boat. And
They have drones. They have they have drones. They have missiles. Let's go.
Put a machine gun on it, okay? Most of them are knocked out. We knock them out just like we knock out the drug dealers.
Iran's foreign minister just sent a warning to the United States, saying that real pain is coming if the war resumes. Check this out. He posted a picture of the skyrocketing U.S. bond yields, saying Americans are told they must absorb rocketing costs of war of choice on Iran. Put aside gas price hikes and stock market bubble, real pain begins when U.S. debt and mortgage rates start to jump. Auto loan delinquencies are already at a 30-plus year high. This was all avoidable. At the same time,
you hear that? So they're still talking mess. Let me take it back just a little bit. They still talking shit. And he just said it was fake news.
Machine gun on it, okay? Most of them are knocked out. We knock them out just like we knock out the drug dealers.
Iran's foreign minister just sent a warning to the United States, saying that real pain is coming if the war resumes. Check this out. He posted a picture of the skyrocketing U.S. bond yields, saying Americans are told they must absorb rocketing costs of war of choice on Iran. Put aside gas price hikes and stock market bubble, real pain begins when U.S. debt and mortgage rates start to jump. Auto loan delinquencies are already at a 30-plus year high.
So you guys hear that? So they're saying economically it's going to, we're getting ready to get it. We're going to be in pain.
This was all avoidable. At the same time, Iran is now prepared to fully block the Bab el-Mandeb Strait the moment the war resumes, building on initial steps Iran began on April 17th toward blocking the strait. The goal of this is to trigger unprecedented energy shortages and soaring prices to shift the U.S. stance toward Iran. About 12% of all global trade passes through the strait, and it also carries 15-plus undersea cables, which is twice as much as Hormuz, transmitting 90% of all Europe-Asia bandwidth. If Iran does this, they would essentially control the digital connection between the world's two largest economic zones. At the same time, according to two Middle Eastern officials, the U.S. and Israel are actively preparing to resume combat operations in Iran, possibly under a new name as early as next week. This means more...
Okay, let me read that. EJ, you said, we're never privy to the truth, only what we're told. Yeah. You and Richard said you have to look around and find out where you're getting your information, and you might find out you're misinformed. I don't believe that. Misinformed about what? Like I said, you need, okay, and again, what am I being misinformed about? Tell me what I'm being misinformed about. You want to come up? I'll drop the link. Tell us what we are being misinformed about. Can you do that? Hold on. Let me drop the link. What we being misinformed about? Let me hit the link. Please, if you come up here, please do not do nothing crazy. I may have to put a banner up, but I need you to tell me what we being misinformed about. And Trump saying that he don't care about us struggling. How am I being misinformed? I do know if this goes on, we're going to continue to suffer. So again, how am I being misinformed? Let me drop this link. Come up and tell me. It's affecting us now. And it's going to continue, and it's going to get worse. Again, how am I being misinformed? Let's go. Some people don't like the truth. Let's go.
Aggressive strikes on both military and infrastructure.
Trump was asked, and he said, and he doubled down, and I will be playing that again. He don't care about the Americans' financial. He said that out of his own mouth. So again, how am I being misinformed? And that's fine. He can give his opinion because guess what? I agree with it. That's why I'm playing it. When you come over here, it's about how I see it. Okay? This is what I'm seeing through my eyes. This is my take on it. You could disagree. Put it in the chat. I know for a fact we're struggling, and we're going to continue to struggle. Things are going to get worse before they get better. That was Iran's whole objective, was to put us, the globally economic pain on the world. That was their whole goal, and they've accomplished that. Let's go.
Structured targets, resulting in even more global economic damage.
The Chinese know they can manipulate.
So you believe that what he said is not the truth? Globally, that is their goal. They've said that out of their own mouths. We got two different war strategies. And that's why they closed the straits to begin with. Why do you think the straits is closed? That's a win for them, to crush the world. Economically, that is a win for Iran. That's a win for them. That is their military objective. I'm not going back and forth with you in the chat. Hit the link. Hit the link. Hit the link. I said what I said. I don't have a problem. I know what I see. I know what I see. Your president said he don't care, Richard. That's what he said. That's what it is, Mitch. It's hurting him. Your president said this was an excursion that was going to last 4 to 6 weeks. Your president said he wanted regime change. He wanted the nuclear dust. They can't have a nuclear weapon. He has not freaking got any, he hasn't fucking did anything with those objectives. He changes every other day. He got the straits closed. He's not completed not one war objective. Anytime they say regime change, know that that's not a 4 to 6 week excursion. Know that. So look, the regime is still intact. They still got the nuclear dust. Okay. Militarily wise, their stockpile is at 75%. Please, please. We get into anything else, we're in trouble. You heard what China said. You heard what China said.
Trump. They understand it. They understand flattery and money will get them everywhere. They understand deeply how to manipulate Donald Trump. Because let's be very, very real, folks.
We had a deal in place. Obama put that deal in place where we had oversight. You know what Trump did? Ripped it up. Guess what? Now he's trying to offer that same freaking deal, but give them a little more. Okay? That's what he's doing. He's putting together the same deal that freaking Obama did. What you tear it up for? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why he tear that deal up? Why did he tear the deal up? Nah, ain't nothing ignorant about me. Your president is ignorant. That's who's ignorant. Threatening and negotiating through Truth Social. Listening to Kushner, Witkoff, and Netanyahu. That's ignorance. He had no proof that there was an intimate threat. Intelligence said that. Let's go. But you're welcome to stay and listen to the truth.
He can't stay awake for 20 minutes in the Oval Office anymore. Now, he's up in the middle of the night, jacked up on God knows what, Adderall, I don't know, rage tweeting until all hours of the day and night. But this is a hard trip for a sick old man, and they know that. They know he's sick. They know he's not well mentally. They know he's not well physically. There's nothing about Trump that intimidates them now. Nothing. Nothing about
that part. There's nothing about Trump that intimidates any country. Friends or foe. He's going to alienate us, and we're going to have a dirty, nasty stain that's going to take years for us to come up out of.
Him says, I am a commanding presence in the world stage.
Donald Trump got a very serious warning from President Xi in China, and it has to do with Taiwan. If you know how to listen to diplomatic speech, you realize Xi is warning Trump and is saying to Trump, we would go to war if you try any hijinks with Taiwan.
Pay attention. Let's go.
Taiwan. I don't think people realize how dangerous this is because Trump doesn't understand the implications.
Democrats. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? We flipping seats. MAGA on their way out. MAGA on their way out. Let's go.
You know, Trump was there smiling. He was complimenting Xi Jinping.
His approval ratings is the lowest of all times. Of all times. Okay. Whatever y'all say.
We're good.
Whatever y'all say.
France. And she was warning that Taiwan could trigger a direct conflict between China and the United States. In the United States, it might seem like an ordinary foreign policy disagreement. Well, we have different perspectives and it's going to be sorted out. The Taiwan issue for China is existential. They see it as unfinished business from the Chinese Civil War. They view reunification with Taiwan as inevitable. It's necessary. They believe their national...
Trump's mouth. We can't afford a war 9,500 miles away. He don't want that. He don't want that.
Security depends on absorbing Taiwan into China. And they view outsiders interfering as humiliation. China has spent years preparing militarily in case the Taiwan issue turns into a confrontation with the United States. They've expanded their Navy. They've expanded their missile systems. They've bolstered.
China is on the rise. They are on the rise. I don't know what part of that y'all ain't understanding.
Their cyber warfare and air power. And a lot of it is directed exactly at the Taiwan situation. Now, the United States has been deliberately vague. Trump's just clueless.
That part, 59% approval rating. MAGA's on our way out.
On the issue. But for decades, there has been this vague relationship where we've helped to arm Taiwan, but we don't make explicit guarantees about military intervention. And that ambiguity has kept the balance. Trump looks at foreign policy like personal branding. And so then that changes how we should interpret this personal chemistry that Donald Trump has.
Oh, sorry, y'all. My smoke detector went off. If that scared y'all, let's go.
With the authoritarian leaders. He is genuinely impressed by these leaders who rule without opposition and without constraints and with no accountability to democracy. And for years, people...
Those are the people he look up to. The Putins. Those, you know, the Netanyahus. Those are the people that he look up to. Let's go.
Kind of defended this approach, saying Trump is really clever to be friendly with these dictators because it brings down the chance of a war. That analysis only...
He wants to be a dictator so bad. So bad.
Works if you believe that Trump is genuinely developing friendships with them, but he's not. Trump thinks that they are friendships, but the authoritarian leaders see these as manipulations of Donald Trump. And she, during this trip, has laid out a red line. If Taiwan isn't handled correctly, we could see...
Hold on, y'all. Let me unplug this. Let's go. Sorry.
Relations between the U.S. and China deteriorate up to and including military armed conflict.
We are closer to a war powers resolution being passed now that 3 Republicans have broke ranks and supported it. It's still...
Y'all hear that? 3 Republicans broke rank. Y'all hear that? His own people. His own people, Diamond Gang. Whew. Let's go. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger.
Failed yesterday because of one person, John Fetterman, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, who's acting.
And I can't stand John Fetterman. Why? Because I'm in the state of PA. Let's go.
More like a Republican and an AIPAC operative than an elected senator who's representing his constituents. I don't think the people of Pennsylvania like higher gas prices or the higher costs of groceries and are struggling financially right now. They want someone who represents them, and John Fetterman is failing at doing that. Now, the Republicans that joined Democrats in trying to pass this resolution were Rand Paul, who has been supporting it the entire time, Susan Collins.
So a couple folks switched. They switched up. Let's go, baby.
Broke ranks and supported it, and Lisa Murkowski supported this.
The Republicans are getting tired. They getting tired. Don't get mad at me.
Resolution for the first time. So we're getting closer. We just need either Fetterman to get on board with his fellow Democrats or another Republican to break ranks. So we are close to ending.
Republicans switch sides. All right, let's go.
This war that's causing everything to skyrocket in price. Let me know what you think. Make sure to spread the word about this, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Now we get ready to get into the things that's going on with his family, the money. Let's go. This was good.
And I'm going to post a clip of it later, but I want to talk about the fraud, the Donald Trump fraud. Got cut off a lot. It was lively. If you did see it, you saw that. Some good back and forth, some less good back and forth. But there is such unbelievably overwhelming evidence that Donald Trump and his family are profiting off of the office. It's like astounding to me that anyone would even.
They are making big money off this war, especially with them drones. Let's go.
Defend what they're doing, which I guess is kind of like a lazy defense, just saying like, oh, well, business people before and like, they had real jobs. So what do you expect them to do? Yeah, I expect you to put your business in a trust like Jimmy Carter's peanut farm and not have that flashing sign that says that the White House is for sale. The crypto.
Shouts out to everybody that hit the like. I appreciate it. Y'all, again, this will be my last vertical. I now have a Rumble. I will be streaming from Rumble and YouTube at the same time, which means I cannot no longer, they don't support the vertical lives. So I have to go horizontal. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel.
Scams like World Liberty Financial, this new thing that he wants to do where he'll drop the lawsuit against the IRS if he gets a $1.7 billion slush fund for folks who have been allies of his that the Biden.
Y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? So now he's saying, I'll drop the lawsuit I got if we get this fund to support his allies. Okay, let's go.
Administration went after pardoning or commuting the sentences of people who committed billions of dollars in fraud, like Philip Asform, that was Medicare fraud.
So again, he's looking out for the rich, not the poor. There's not even a middle class anymore. This is insane.
Fraud, Medicare, Medicaid. I think it was Medicare. The kids are getting these contracts from the government, drone companies, robotics companies, God knows what else.
I just said that. The drones, they making hella money. Let's go.
Sitting on the board of everything, like you can be on the board of Polymarket and Kalshi at the same time. Like everybody is just buying them off. Your real estate deals, like creating all of these new resorts all over the world so people can curry favor. Like in the first Trump administration, it was just like, come to DC and say at Trump International, and we'll see what's up. Now it's like, buy into my ballroom, develop, like a 100, 200, 300, 400, I don't even know how many hundreds of millions of dollars resorts all over the world so that you can have access to whatever you want from Trump world. Sorry, this is like a little bumpy. I'm in the car, as you can see. Anyway, super frustrating. I will post the clip, but it's pretty choppy. So I just got to say that JD Vance saying we're going to go after the fraud and you should eradicate the fraud. What was going on in Minnesota, totally unacceptable. I don't like hospice.
Guess what? If JD Vance is on the ticket, he gonna catch hell because he got to clean all this dumbass shit up. If he's on the ticket, and he's been pretty quiet, but when he does speak out, he say some off the wall stuff. But yeah, he's on the ticket. He got a big job. He got a big job to do if he gets in there.
Fraud in California, any of it. But the idea that these people are like arbiters of honesty or ethics in any way when they are just taking us to the cleaners over this and doing it with reckless abandon. He made $3 billion last year, moved up 118 spots on the Forbes.
$3 billion he made last year. I showed y'all in the beginning of this live stream, they said they wanted to be the wealthiest family in the world. Let's go.
List 118 spots in 1 year while he was president.
Major news as deputy assistant to the.
Remember, I told you guys before he went over China, he was, I'm telling you, he left a letter for J.D. Vance. Let's go.
President Sebastian Gorka was on the Podforce One podcast and said that President Trump has a letter tucked away in the Resolute desk for J.D. Vance in the event that he is assassinated or dies while in office. And this comes as there's been multiple assassination attempts, and Trump is in China meeting with President Xi this week while J.D. Vance remained in D.C. So, guys, pretty serious stuff here. Trump told News Nation earlier that he had pretty firm instructions for J.D. Vance should the Iranian government succeed in taking him out. So what's in this note? We don't know. Hopefully we never have to find out. But
he might post it on True Social. That's what he loves to crash out over there. Crazy.
Pretty stunning stuff coming out of the White House and out of the news today, learning that Trump has instructions for the vice president over his concern of being taken out while in office. Let me know what you think about this. Certainly crazy times we're in. Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe. Let me know what you think's in that letter, and I'll see you back here for the 411. What I'm about to show you is exactly.
Listen, this operation, trust me, bro, got me weak. And this is exactly what Hegseth did when he was in front of Congress a couple of days ago. Let's take a look.
Why Iran calls it Operation Trust Me, Bro.
Ms. Secretary, on that same day, April 29th, you testified that the current ceasefire meant that the 60-day calendar with the War Powers Resolution was paused. Who are the parties to the ceasefire?
Well, right now, we are in that same ceasefire as of right now.
Wasn't the court?
This dude, somebody's going to be the fall guy. And I told you guys, and I was right. Okay. Since I've been commentating on these politicians and political figures, I told y'all that Kristi Noem was going to go. I told you guys Pam Bondi was going to go. I told you Gabby Talbert was going to go. I told you Kash Patel was up next. And I'm telling y'all now, Pete Hegseth. I'm telling you. Let's go. He's going to be the fall guy.
Question, who are the parties to
Will
this?
be the United States and the regime in Iran.
How many pages is the ceasefire? What deal points? I'm not asking you to share the contents. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how do we know that the ceasefire is active or not active without any documentation?
We know it's evident, and the ceasefire is in effect.
We know it's evident. Guess what? Iran named us Operation Trust Me, Bro. Real talk. That move right there was, we know, just trust me, bro. Like, this administration, and they get mad at me when I point the dumbass shit that they do out. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at them. They said it. I didn't.
Fact.
But is it pages? Is it 15 points? There's been different points that have moved around. Is there any other? How do we know you just trust that the president knows that the ceasefire is active or not active?
As you know, for the most part, a ceasefire means the fire is ceasing, and we know that
the fire is ceasing. Operation Trust Me, Bro. Let's go.
Has occurred while negotiations occur, and there are lots of different discussions with our negotiating team that are happening. I'm there when those discussions are occurring, different drafts, different perspectives. So it's a very dynamic situation where a negotiated settlement could be the outcome here, where Iran does not have nuclear capabilities. And from the Department of War perspective, we're here to support.
Pete Hegseth should resign in disgrace.
Yeah, because what did he say? He literally said nothing. He will be the fall guy. I guarantee you.
There's absolutely no formal document memorializing the
Not only that, who does this in the midst of an active war? Do that purge, that mass firing of hundreds of years of experience, of knowledge. Make that make sense because of your insecurities.
ceasefire. It's a trust me, bro type situation. And that's why the Iranians' comedy isn't even that funny anymore. It's really just reality. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411. This is exactly why they all have to go. The entire administration, cabinet, all of them, they all have to go.
This is what I was talking about when it comes to J.D. Vance. He's been pretty quiet and he hasn't been vocal because he really don't like what's going on with this war. Okay, I've showed you guys clip after clip after clip. No new wars. Remember him talking about Trump bad. If we put Trump in office, we're going to end up going to war. So he's not that vocal, but when he is vocal, he says the dumbest shit. But let's go. That might ruin his chances.
Oh, just watch.
Thank you. And can I ask you, Mr. Vice President, when approaching the war with Iran, do you agree with the president's position that Americans' financial situations should not be a consideration in that decision-making process?
Well, I don't think the president said that. I think that's a misrepresentation of what the president said. But look,
y'all hear that? Meanwhile, I got a clip of Trump coming back from China, doubling down on him saying he don't give a good goddamn, he don't care about your kids starving, about you paying more for gas, you not being able to get to work, whatever the case. He don't give a shit. Let's go.
I agree with the president that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. We're obviously engaged in a very aggressive and very...
And had he not tore up the deal that Obama put in place where we had oversight, we would have been able to maintain and control that.
Engaged diplomatic process to try to ensure that that doesn't happen. And
What? You don't think the president said that? That is quite literally what he said.
The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let...
I don't think about Americans' financial situation. He doubled down and said it again when he got home. Let's go.
Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
These people want you to believe you didn't hear what they said. It's quite remarkable. They are all full of complete BS. Let me know if you agree. Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
When approaching the war with Iran, do you agree with the president's position that Americans' financial situations should not be a consideration in that decision-making process?
Well, I don't...
This right here.
think the president said that. I think that's a misrepresentation of what the president said. But look, I agree with the president that Iran should not have a nuclear weapon. We're obviously engaged in a very aggressive and very engaged diplomatic process to try to ensure that that doesn't happen. And the president has a lot of options.
Not only did he tear the deal up, he didn't have proof. Let's go.
As he said repeatedly, there are options diplomatically, there are options on the military side, but the fundamental goal here is the president wants to make
intelligence, Pentagon. They said it wasn't true. There was no threat. Let's go.
Make the world safe, but particularly the American people safe from Iran having a nuclear weapon. And one final point I'll say on that is nuclear proliferation is one of those challenges that people don't realize. It's the biggest threat to America's national security, and it's not obvious.
Now they made that threat a reality because they don't trust us, and they're not giving up the nuclear dust. Again, When they were in the 6th round of negotiations this last time, they had agreed to dilute it. And now they're not giving it up at all. So they made this threat a reality. We did. Let's go.
Until it is. Because what happens if Iran gets a nuclear weapon? Then multiple Gulf Arab countries are going to want to get a nuclear weapon. Then multiple countries from there are going to want to get a nuclear weapon. The goal of preventing nuclear proliferation is probably the single most important thing that we can do to keep our people safe for the long term. It's absolutely a worthy goal. But of course, the president and I and the entire team, we care about the American people's financial situations. It's one of the reasons why we passed the Working Families Tax Cut. It's one of the reasons why we're so focused on fraud. We care about how the American people are doing economically. We've also got a number of other challenges. Of course, the president has to confront all these challenges simultaneously.
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, the president was asked about whether Americans' financial concerns.
Now, this is all that I'm saying. Everybody took it out of context, but y'all heard what he said out of his mouth. Let's go.
Motivating him to make a deal with Iran. His response was, I don't think about Americans' financial situations. Do you think that's the right message? Do you think the president should be considering the financial toll?
I don't know the context in which he made that comment, but I can tell you the president thinks about Americans' financial situations. I talk to him on average twice a day, sometimes
That's not what he said. He said he don't.
3 or 4 times a day, and we talk about it constantly. He's laser focused on trying to resolve the conflict in Iran, because if we get the Strait of Hormuz, when we get the Strait of Hormuz reopened, that will alleviate a lot of pressure with gas prices and other things in the economy. Now, we've done everything.
We have big news this evening. Donald Trump has doubled down on his statement, saying that he does not think about your financial situation, saying that it was a, quote, perfect statement.
So after
I'm serious.
They said that Trump comes from China, double down on the statement and said it was a perfect statement. But folks want me to believe otherwise. Man, bye.
What he said in a Fox News interview. Now, here's the problem for Republicans. Over the past 48 hours, Republicans have been running from Trump's statement, saying, no, he didn't mean that. No, I have to see the full context. Well, Fox played the full context. And well, he said it was a perfect statement. Kind of like the perfect phone call that got him impeached. It seems like this perfect statement may be what does him in the midterm elections, because polling for Republicans isn't too hot tonight. And yet, there is now concern on Capitol Hill and in Republican circles that the president is going to double down, triple down on this idea that he does not think about your financial situations. As always, I'll have more updates for you soon. Spread the word. Follow along to stay update on all the news you need to know about. More to come.
So Donald Trump was just asked in a Fox News interview to his face if he stands by his statement that he doesn't think about Americans' financials at all when negotiating with Iran. And this is what he said.
Pundits jumped all over this statement that you made the other day. You were asked when you were leaving.
What extent are Americans?
Again, don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. So what? I'm not supposed to believe what he's saying out of his own mouth? Come on. Y'all need to stop making excuses for this man. Let's go.
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters is that I'm talking about Iran. They can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
That's right. That's a perfect statement. I'd make it again.
But you can imagine how many people stop the
Bingo. He said he would say it again. It's a perfect statement. Did y'all hear that? For the people in the back, one more time, please. This is the last clip. Then I'm going to take comments. Yeah. Let's take it back. Let's hear him again. One more time. Let's hear this dude again.
I'll have more updates for you soon. Spread the word. Follow along to stay update on all the news you need to know about. More to come.
So Donald Trump was just asked in a Fox News interview to his face if he stands by his statement that he doesn't think about Americans' financials at all when negotiating with Iran. And this is what he said.
Pundits jumped all over this statement that you made the other day. You were asked when you were leaving.
What extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters is that I'm talking about Iran. They can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about American financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
That's right. That's a perfect statement. I'd make it again.
But you can imagine how many people stop the soundbite at, I don't think about America's financial situation. So what's your response to that framework?
It's very simple. When people hear me say it, everybody agrees. Short-term pain. It's going to be short-term pain. But the pain is much less than people thought.
Y'all hear this? Oh, boy. Okay. Let's go.
You hear that, America? He doesn't think about your financial situations whatsoever. And it's not like he misspoke or he didn't mean it. He said it again. He doubled down. He called it a perfect statement that he would make again. The guy who told you he was going to lower your prices is not only raising your prices, but he's also telling you to suck it up in the process. Donald Trump, everybody.
There we go. Bingo. We got through this live, y'all. All right, let me go to the question, to the chat. I agree with him. They can't have a nuclear. But here's the thing, Steve. Where was the proof that that there was a threat? Again, y'all keep bringing up people that's not even in office no more. And listen, I didn't vote. I don't care about her. I don't. But again, where was the threat, Steve? Okay, there was no threat. Why did he tear up the deal that was already in place? Can you answer that? Where we had oversight. EJ said, I disagree that he has the right to impose. Again, is there a list of those who can or cannot have nuclear weapon? Israel got one. Israel can have one, right? Israel first. Israel first. Listen, I want to say shouts out to everybody that participated in this live stream. I will not be vertical for a while. I'm not saying that I'm going to totally stop, but I will have to do them as a separate live stream. I am trying to build my channel over there on Rumble. If you have a Rumble, stop past. Same, DaGreatSpillsDaTea, celebrity gossip, war updates. Yeah. So I will be going live on that platform, and they don't support horizontal. Not only that, once I reach the 4K subscribers, which I am very close, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not at 4K when I get off this live stream, I am going to focus on my core audience, those that support me. I love it over here in the vertical. It gets fun. It gets crazy. A lot of different people, but that's not going to garnish me support. Okay. So I have to, I have to start going horizontal more. So if you like the content, please subscribe. Keep your notifications on. You'll get notified when I go live. But this is it. Yeah. I'll be back, but it won't be like, consistent. And I've been consistently over here for about 2 months, or maybe even longer than that. So, but I want to thank you guys for those that hit the like, for those that subscribed, those that found me on the vertical world and subscribed. Okay. So, but let me take a couple more comments, and we're going to go ahead and close out in about 15 minutes. I'm almost at the 3-hour mark. You said, yes, that the world comes to an agreement about, oh, you're talking to someone in the chat. Let's see. Take a couple more. What's up, Mike? I mean, I agree. I wouldn't want them to have one, but if there was no threat and there was no proof that there was one, and then you tear up the deal where we had oversight to see what they were doing at all times, then, I got to call a thing a thing. I got to. You're listening. You didn't get anything from intelligence. And they said that there was no proof of that. So who do I believe? Somebody that's known to lie? and prone to lie, or do I believe intelligence? The people to do this. So, this was a war of choice. Definitely a war of choice. And now we're stuck in some shit that we can't get out of. And we've depleted our stockpile, damn near. And now we're up against potentially another conflict with a whole different country. They got manpower. They got power, military power. So, yeah. Yeah. You said mental stability? A known liar. So, So please, 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 replay gang, smash the like. Again, if you would like to support the channel, the Cash App is pinned. Subscribe, turn your notifications on. I do these updates, and I'm gonna continue to do them. So once I start something, I finish it. And I've been punished for doing this. So, but like I said, ain't nobody gonna stop me from talking about what I want to talk about. So I'm going to continue to give these updates, whether I'm monetized or not. I'm going to give them. But I am venturing out on other platforms to where I got a little bit more freedom. So you go on Rumble, they monetize you instantly. Once I start building and I start getting them views, they already, I haven't even been over there a week, and they are running ads on my content over there. So, like I said, I love doing this, but I'm not in the business for doing it for free. And my content is pretty good. It's pretty good. Because I not only do this, but I do celebrity gossip too. And I put a lot of love, a lot of effort, and a lot of work into every short I make, every upload I do, and every live stream. So I got to get the money somehow, some way. So I done migrated over to Rumble. I'm going to see how that work out for me and go from there. And so far, I like the community. Me and my brother, C-Dove, we beat you. I promoted his channel. Get over there, subscribe. He does similar content. We then went over there and we like what's going on over there. It's a whole different world. And it's a little bit more freedom. So when you do something over there, that's one thing with Rumble. If you do something over there and they deem it to demonetize your video, you then get the opportunity to correct it, re-upload it, and then they monetize it. They don't snatch your monetization off of you like YouTube does. So it could have been anything from a thumbnail to my hashtags to a description. I have no idea because their rules are so vague, they don't tell you. So, but over there, you got Rumble, Sharon? What's up? Yo, I'm over there. And I love it. I love it. I uploaded a video the other day, and because I had too many viral hashtags, they demonetized my video. I went in there, fixed the hashtag line. They took a second look at it, and they monetized it right away. See, I'm with that. With YouTube, they take it, you got to wait 90 days. They tell you exactly, hey, this can't be monetized. Make the corrections, and we can monetize it within hours. So I'm going to work on building that channel over there on Rumble. So I will never have to worry about that 90-day thing. It's the same. It's DaGreatSpillsDaTea. And I basically, all the content that I put on my channel is over there. Pretty soon I will be streaming my live streams over there because I can connect to YouTube. So when I go live over there and give my war updates, it'll be over here, but it'll be on the horizontal side, not the vertical. They don't support vertical over there. So that way I won't have to pay for StreamYard anymore. That's almost $50 a month. And I'm not making no money over here. So yeah, I gotta get it how I live. I gotta get it somewhere. So, but I will be over there as well. You know, Mark said Democrats. Mitch, where Mitch at? What Mitch owe you? Yeah, Rumble. It's an app. It's kind of like Twitch is more gaming. Rumble, you're gonna see a little bit of everything over there. So it's just like another app, kind of like Twitch. It got the layout like Twitch. So, but that's where I'll be. But I'll still be over here. So if you're subscribed, you'll get the notification that I'm going live. I'll just be streaming over there. I got to build that platform. Okay. Thank you, Mitch. I love you. You the best. This is my number one right here. But yeah, please, I'll still be on YouTube. But yeah, I gotta build my channel up. And it's not over there. You don't have to have so many followers, so many watch hours. You don't have to have none of that. As soon as you get over there and start making content, it's based off of the ads that they run. They got super chats and all of that over there, but it's instant. It's nothing like YouTube. So with YouTube, you got to get at least so many subs, so many watch hours. And yeah, the moment you step up in there and start making content, it's monetizable. So, you love me too? Oh, stop it. You're gonna get me in big trouble. But I appreciate my community over here. And it took everything out of me because I got caught up yesterday and I was exhausted, so I couldn't do the live stream. I wasn't going to go live tonight. It took a lot out of me to get up here. So, but I was like, I got people over there that's probably like, where she at? It's been almost 3 days I haven't been live. So I care about my subs over here. So it's not like I'm just going to abandon you guys and just strictly do Rumble. I'm going to do both. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to put more energy where the money is. So I got to build that channel up. Just like I did this one. So. But Diamond Gang, we're almost 3 hours in. Shouts out to all my moderators. Shouts out to all the subscribers. Shouts out to the new ones if you subscribed. And I want to say shouts out to the vertical world. When I'm over here, it's like I'm in a different, it's just different. It's a lot different. So I'm going to definitely miss being over here as much as I, was. Because it's a new face all the time. But I need consistency. You know what I mean? With support. So. And with the vertical world, it's just a scroll through type of thing. You said too much love in this chat. Stuff my EJ getting jealous. EJ, did you listen to that voice note I sent you today? I left you a voice note in the comment section. Did you guys know that if you comment on my content, we have the option to actually talk and leave you a voice note? And I left you a voice note today. And you didn't respond back. Yeah, thank you to everybody that hit the like and joined and participated. I love when I look down in the chat and I see you guys conversating. Listen, I don't mean no harm, but when I'm just strong in what I believe in, you know what I mean? But I don't mean any harm. When I'm talking, I just, I'm passionate. That's it. I'm passionate. That's it. That's all. But, you know, if the guy could have, oh, yeah. Yeah. Leave me a voicemail. I mean, leave me a, like, go to my content and make a comment. And I could voicemail you. I could definitely. Give me your email. I'll definitely email you, Mitch. Yeah, I'm just passionate. I don't mean any harm. That guy could have came up here and spoke his piece and said how he felt. Either he could have changed my mind, or we could agree to disagree and move on like adults. You know? So, but all right, gang, it is almost 2 a.m. here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I got to get some sleep. I will see you guys soon. Again, thank you, Vertical World. I've had a blast over here. And I'm not saying that I won't be back, because I will. Yes. Look, bestie, I seen it all go down in real time, baby. All of it. All of it. So we got to talk, bestie. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm on the East Coast. East Coast. So, look, EJ ain't playing. EJ ain't playing. Mike be emailing me like a month. Like, yeah. I talks to Mike via email. Yo, bestie. You don't even know. I got something up my sleeve, but you going to have to see. It's going to be some fireworks on that other side. Y'all don't even know. I got a messy channel that I cut up on, but I don't want y'all to see me like that. Listen, I got a hair care channel. I haven't been over there in months. That was doing okay. I have 2 messy channels. One I was real active on, and then I have this celebrity gossip channel. So I got 4 channels. Active channel. Well, 2. Well, one. This channel is the active one. The messy one is a little active. I know, EJ, you see me act a damn fool. Oh, God. And I hate that. All right, y'all. I got to get up out of here. Yeah, girl. Yes. Like, I finally, yeah, I'll tell you about it, Meek. It's crazy. It's crazy. But all right, y'all, I gotta go. Good night. I love you guys. Replay gang, hit that like. Make sure you guys subscribe and keep your notifications on. You said Trump don't, sorry, I don't know what you said, but guess what? You're done. You're gone. I don't know what that was about. You know the trolls is going to troll. And not only that, once I leave the vertical world, less trolls. I get so tired of that. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. I love you, Diamond Gang. I'm out.
It's your under degrees. Sip on me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. under the degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea.